All right, everybody. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put the YouTube
Chat.
links. Yeah, so I can see the YouTube chat from the thing. Now I know I haven't been doing live streams regularly, so forgive me. But we decided to try to move into a a new format here and do a couple of live streams to let people see our reactions to the day's news events. So this is Drag from the channel.
What's going on? What's going on? Y'all probably don't know me, but I'm the guy that kind of works behind the scenes. If you enjoyed the Tiffany Hinyard stuff, you're welcome.
Yeah,
But me and Nate have all type of conversations over the phone, in person. I live less than an hour away, so we talk about all the stuff that you guys are talking about all the time. And so Nate's like, we need to do this live. Why waste all this and we can just do it live? Because there's some things I agree with. There's a lot of things I don't agree with, and because of my proximity to a certain population of people, I have a intimate knowledge about how certain folks think. So I'm gonna try to bring that here, as well as just a little bit of comedy to help offset Nate doing whatever the hell he's doing over here.
My very uncomical stuff. So yeah, it's you know what the crazy part about this is that I think sometimes I feel like I'm in a like a
Bizarro land.
yeah, because the people on the right, on some instances, they facts be damned, right? We're just going to believe whatever it is, right? No matter what, no matter what. It's Trump is right. There's no facts don't matter. Damn the facts. Then the left will call that out. Oh, you guys are all sycophants. But now with this ICE shooting,
It's the reverse.
it's the exact reverse. It's like no matter what facts come out, no matter what video comes out, they are just destined to say that this was. And the only thing it's so wild, people, because you guys don't even know what's been going on with the last like 24 hours with my channel and what's been going on. I've been review bombed. I've had so many people reach out to me and emails, and I've literally had people, professionals, call me. Oh, you should take down the video that you did on Renee Good because it's convincing people that the cop may have been justified.
Asmund Gold reviewed the video.
Yeah, he did. He reviewed it, which was great, and I think it got more traction. But it's funny because I didn't think that I was like some type of threat by essentially giving you the facts and then giving you the law and then giving you my opinion afterwards. But right now, for some reason, they're considering me a threat to society. I can go in and all that, but we're gonna go with today's news. Let me see. Where y'all been? And Nate, good to see you up and well. Thank you. For those of you who don't know, I just had like massive brain surgery 2 months ago. It's going to take me about a year to recover. So, at least I get to do this with my friends, Uncivil, Drag,
Absolutely.
Eric. So Friday I'll be on again with Eric, and then so we have a whole bunch of stuff coming for it, and I think this format's going to be better because we get to actually just give our opinions and talk about stuff naturally. I just did one with Eric. Not Eric. Popcorn Planet. So that was pretty fun. It was like 45 minutes. But let's get into the news of the day. Let's start with the ice. I start with ice. So we got news of the day.
Here we go. Let's see. ICE agent who shot Renee Good suffered internal bleeding, was hospitalized after she clipped him with car. Department of Homeland Security.
Now, again, I just want to be very clear. When I personally saw those videos.
Which one? The first video from like the initial one that everybody saw, but it's like 10 feet away, or the potato video from like 50 feet away.
So I saw the first one where you see it from the back angle. Matter of fact, what are we talking about? We can just pull it up.
Here
we had them all here.
So
here it is. So this is the video I saw initially.
Mm-hmm.
And initially when I saw this video that Tim was about to talk about, I said, it's the cop. The cop is crazy. He wasn't in front of the car. Why did he shoot? That type of thing. So I had a whole bunch of questions about this, and I do think this needs to be said. I don't know who voted for this type of ICE. Obama was the deporter in chief.
6.1 million.
He deported more people than Trump. Matter of fact, let's look those numbers.
I didn't just make that up, by the way.
Let me see. Here we go. ChatGPT. Which president deported the most? Oops, it's not even doing it. I got to type it in. Let me see. Which president
In the last 10 years, shit.
Deported the most people. Because it could have changed in the past. They've been working hard the past 6 months, so I don't want to give you wrong information. But last time I checked, it was Obama. Obama is ranked number 1. 3 million formal deportations. Trump only has, from his time frame, 1.2 million. So Obama had 3 million deportations.
Formal ones. That's not actually all of them. Those are the formal deportations.
Yes. 3 million. They called him the deporter in chief. Remember, that was like the big thing. He deported everybody. He was this black guy was kicking everybody out the country.
How dare you?
But now Trump is doing essentially what Obama is doing. But I'm going to ask all you people who are Trump supporters, how come Obama was able to do this? Let me turn this off. How was Obama able to do this in a way where he can deport twice as many people as Trump? But we don't have all this violence in the streets, and we're not sending 2,000 people to Portland, and we're not sending 2,000 people to Minnesota,
Detroit, and all these
it's like
sanctuary cities. Optics, sir.
I think efficiency is what Obama was efficient. He kept his mouth shut and let's get these people out. Trump is like, we're gonna get them out.
It's a big production. Like he has to show people. And look, like alligator Alcatraz and all that type of stuff. But that's just to piss off people. Like we get it. Like you're have a massive operation. Okay, cool. Yeah. You ran. This is your platform. I understand that. But at the same time, you could probably be more efficient if it wasn't the biggest production and letting people know. So they're mounting all these protests and stuff like that to impede that effort, unless that's the goal.
Yeah, let's keep us confused because, if you're asking if the black guy kicked out 3 million people and you barely heard a peep, and now this new guy comes in and he kicked out 1/3 of those amount of people, and we got people dying all over the place. Obviously, there's a better way to do this thing. We all should acknowledge it's a better way to do it. And what he needs to be is get on the phone with Obama and be like, yo, how do you get this done? Because think about this, people. Reality. Obama kicked out more people than I think the previous like the last 10 previous presidents before him combined. Right? It was like some super number. And it was I think I don't want to remove the fact that I think tactics matter and efficiency matters. I want my tax money should be spent the correct way.
Right.
And I think right now, but just saying it, Trump is not. I don't think he's spending it the right way. I think he could do better.
You think so?
Obama did.
Obama
right did. Now, would you between Obama and Trump, who's doing it better? Who did it better?
It depends what the goal is. If you're going by sheer numbers, Obama. If you're going by what is going to impact the population the most, what's going to garner support, what's going to solidify your base and piss off your enemies, Trump is the man at that. But it depends on the goal. So that's what you have to more so look at. Because I think he thrived. When I say Trump thrived in pissing people off. He loves it. His base loves it. So this is how he's going to operate. May not be as efficient, but it serves a purpose.
Obama didn't have a hostile media reporting his actions. Facts. That they didn't like. Yes. Galvanizing the opposition, and the right does.
Does not oppose deporting.
I actually agree with that statement because you did have a more hostile media. Obama was the golden child. So that's fair because every time ICE sneezes wrong, we get some crazy shit like that. We have cities that aren't cooperating. That's the difference. One event in Louisiana versus 30 attacks on ICE in Minnesota in 3 days. That's true. You see why? This is why it's good to speak to you guys because I think these are valid points.
People in Louisiana know not to mess with the police. Okay? Let me just say, if y'all didn't know, we know better. Look up Danziger Bridge Massacre. Okay, there's this thing on the internet, I guess, where people think that you can just do whatever the hell you want and you're not going to be checked. Look up Danziger Bridge Massacre that occurred during Katrina, and there's a reason why. You're going to see a very different tone in the dynamic between Minnesota and Louisiana.
But I do want to say this, though, and I think this is important. When it comes to Trump, this almost seems like a double blind in terms of like there's other stuff going on that he's trying to not let us think about. So like we're talking about this shooting for like almost a week.
It's a smokescreen.
And he's about to bomb Iran. We're taking over Venezuela. The peace president is all of a sudden bombing everybody.
Getting Greenland. What are you talking about?
By force, right? Or else.
We taking it. Green land, purple land, blue land. We finna get it all.
Oh man, it's insane. Wasn't part of the reason Obama had high deportation because he counted border encounters as deportations? I'm glad to see you recovered. It's possible. You know what? I'll do more research into it.
Yeah,
but everything I've seen says Obama clearly had like, I think it was like 6 million, but 3 million formal. It was like some crazy number.
There's actual breakdown with that. So yeah, that some of them probably are counted in that. But still, if you want to, it's weird though for him to have that many, even for just formal deportations, with his base that's now so active and animated that deems these actions not only just inhumane but also racist to some degree. So it's like, well, why wasn't that standard applied to Obama when he was doing it, no matter what the ratio, right? So it's weird, but that goes. I have a whole rant about people now deciding they want to be upset by certain things.
I think this is a great point too about the sanctuary cities. I think there was some that existed, but it wasn't as pervasive as it is now. So these are all valid points why Trump is getting a little why it's not proportional.
Yeah.
But let's get back to the shooting in Minnesota. Now, obviously, I believe that shooting was justified. I don't know where in the hell in America you can point the damn car at a cop. They're telling you get out the car and you hit the gas, clip the cop, and don't expect to be shot because they got guns out of it. I just don't know where in America that happens. This type of skin color, we know. If you got cops surrounding your car and one pulls out a gun and says, get the hell out the car, I'm not hitting the gas and taking my chances. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. Now, if you're saying she was trying to get away, she's trying to do all that, fine. I'm all good with that.
Oh, but you could get out and run. I mean, there's so many options that she had that she chose not to do. Changed gears twice, then pointed the wheels up. Like, well,
let's go. Let's go. This.
Before we get that. When it happened, you and I had a phone call.
We did.
What was the point that I made on that phone call that I said people are not noticing?
About the tires, pointing at the officer, spinning on the black ice. That's what you said. That's exactly what you said.
So just wait.
All right. Let's do this super bit. Trump's love owning the libs and turning people against the media. That's true. He incites the hate against himself and then makes himself a victim. He does it to himself. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Obama deportations were focused almost exclusively on criminals. You guys gotta get the right info. We didn't say it wasn't. We didn't say either way. I don't know what
I didn't make a distinction.
Between deportations and criminals. All right, so
that's fine. He can say that, but we don't really know that though. But that's the official story is that yes, but Trump has said the same.
No, going after the bad ones. I did read this. I read this one about the hostile media, right? Obama didn't have a hostile America. Never had Fox News simply attacking the color of his tan city. I remember that. Yeah, and talk about delusional. Y'all say anything? That's true. It's a good point. Good point. Sorry, Mr. Super Chat. I thought I got it. Let me take these super chats out because when the new ones come in, I want to make sure I pick them up first. But thank you guys for the super chats. Let me see. Sorry to change the subject. Thank you for the Tiffany Hinyard series. He's talking to you. The best ever. Do you think it can happen again in another community? It's happening in a lot of different communities.
So the reason I found the Tiffany Hinyard that I connected the dots, there was actually this phenomena happening in I think Florida was another one that I found, but I think it might have been. I can't remember, but there was definitely one more.
No, you found the one in Georgia. The judge. Yes. She went viral too.
There is a trend during that time frame of specifically Black women using the sister girl rhetoric, the whole social justice, all of it.
DEI.
The DEI is just there was like a playbook. All of them were using to get into these positions of power and then doing crazy shit.
Yeah.
And so that's how I connected a lot of these because they don't really come up with anything new, So that's That was the secret to that, by the way.
Tiffany Henry was a gift that just kept giving.
Yeah.
Awesome show for you guys. Yeah, Tiffany Henry was good. But now let's get to, before we get to the next super chat, we're going to get to, let's get to Tim's breakdown, because I think Tim's breakdown is important.
Frame by frame.
By frame breakdown. And remember, we're talking to him in an event that happened in a total time of 7 seconds, right? 7 seconds. So we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's it. And now we're going to play this. So let's go to, we already shared the screen. So I'm going to go to this one. Where's this one? This is the best one.
There we go.
And let's play it.
Let's go back to the lie. Here's the officer. Here's the vehicle reversing. The officer is not in front of the vehicle. She reverses, and now he is in front of the vehicle. He initially is to the right of the vehicle. By all means, argue he should not have placed himself in this position.
Yeah, Mike's muted. I muted the mic. That's me. Don't forget, I just had brain surgery. So yeah, but if the guy is sitting there with his hands in front of the car like this,
right?
That's what I said. If he's sitting in front of the car like this, what the hell does that still give her license to hit the gas?
Yes, he's a victim. There we go. Victim. This is victim blaming. This is victim blaming, by the way. This is because if there's 2 adults in this scenario, there's 2 adults, both of them possessing potentially dangerous objects. She had a choice. He had a choice. Everybody agrees he probably shouldn't be that close to the bumper. There's tons of people with knowledge about where to place yourself in these type of scenarios that agree. And even if you don't have that type of expertise, agreed. But that doesn't give you leeway just to do whatever hell you want with a vehicle. She made a choice to shift gears, not once, but twice, and to hit that accelerator, and not just to hit it, to lay on it.
Yeah. But we'll see it right now. We're going to go finish with Tim. Nate putting out the best content ever, even with half a brain in a jar. Glad you do well. Thank you so much. People are protesting now for the same reason that BLM only riots on election years. But, we got to call out both sides on this, because there's a lot of, let's not forget about 2020, and let's not forget January 6th, right? So protesting happens on both sides, which is fine. Even though I think this was more of a criminal action in terms of trying to stop ICE from doing their official duties, but, it is what it is. Federal agents have repeatedly said how against training and outrageous his conduct was. He was not in danger of being run over. Well, again, it's about perception, but you know what? I'm going to stop this. We're going to stop at this super chat, and we're going to go back to the video, because I think that this is where this is important. Great super chat at a great time. Here we go. So this person says he was not in danger of being hit by the vehicle. Let's see if this is true. Now, please don't get mad at me, because this is going to go up, and obviously it's going to probably say exactly the opposite of what you're saying here. But I just want to make sure people understand that we just to look at the facts. What are the facts? And if the facts align with what you're saying, then you'll shut us up. But I don't know. I don't believe the facts do. Let's play Tim.
We're talking about seconds. Now watch this. The vehicle stops here. The wheels are pointed left. As you can see, the officer is standing right in front of the vehicle. Now watch this. Right there. You see the front tire? Watch the front tire right here. The wheels are pointed left, and she accelerates. The wheel spins out on ice.
So what was that? What was that? Let me find that comment again, because I want to make sure we're clear. Federal agents. Oh yeah, he was not in danger of being run over. So let's say that wasn't ice. Let's say she got traction when she slammed the thing down and the wheel spin forward. Is this a credible super chat? I'll give you your money back, but this is not credible. This is against the evidence. And this is what, listen, you're talking to two guys here who believe Ashley Babbitt's shooting was justified.
100%.
And again, we're not right wingers. She was justified. She FAFO'd. This woman, unfortunately, is Ashley Babbitt for the left. And you can't tell us that officer with those wheels spinning toward him,
he can hear it.
Is not in danger. This is misinformation. And it's in real time we're debunking it. This, great super chat. I really appreciate it. But we're debunking it in real time. Let's continue.
Then, with the wheels pointed at the officer, having spun out already, meaning the officer can hear the engine rev with it pointed at him, he draws his weapon.
So, Will spit, point at, what the hell's going on?
Because you see, he doesn't actually reach for his service weapon until the tires are pointed at him.
And have already spun out.
See, again, he could hear it. That's what he was responding to. Because, mind you, he's far enough back to see where the hood of the car is pointed now. Because she's already moved the vehicle. Anytime that you're in a motor vehicle, you have pedestrians around you. What were you taught?
To slam on the gas and go forward and pray that no one's hit. That's what you're taught.
I forgot that. No. Yo, you yield to pedestrians.
Pedestrians have 9/10 of the law. Just imagine if this was just, forget about the cops. Just imagine this was some regular person.
Or in a Walmart parking lot.
Yeah, a Walmart parking lot. Somebody just clipped somebody like that.
So that's why I think if you just remove the labels from the people, right? You take out the politics and you look at the events that occurred. Is this reckless driving or not? Like, I think if you ask that question, it's pretty clear. At least to me, she could have chosen, again, not to shift gears twice. She could have got out and ran. She could have got out and fist fought everybody there.
She could have obeyed police commands and would have still been alive today, getting out the car. Because don't let's understand too. She put herself in that position intentionally. She was dancing before the cops came.
Antagonized them.
They were trying to disrupt them. And then at time they called, okay, game over. You're under arrest for impeding us. Instead of taking it like, I was about to say take it like a man, but taking it like someone who's responsible for their actions. Okay, there it is. Now it's going to take them longer because they got to arrest you, move the car and everything. It's a whole procedure. She decided to leave her wife on the scene and pull off.
Right, was still trying to grab the handle.
Yeah. While you have people surrounding the car.
Drive.
With the wife screaming by. And we're supposed to ignore all that.
Like this is reckless driving.
And yeah, it's crazy. Don't worry, we're gonna get to your super chats, but let's let Tim finish.
And in a second, because this is slow mode, she then begins to turn right, hitting him, and he shoots.
Point blank.
I know. These are horrible facts, right? The horrible facts.
They are.
It's just this. Now, just so you can see that we didn't come empty-handed, we actually did a little research, so we can just show you that, we have the other angle. We have another angle. We have the officer's angle, right? So here's the officer's angle. Now, when you play this, here is the angle from the officer. So we're going to look at over here. The officer is on this left-hand side. That's the wife. Now, the wife is trying to get in the car. So here she goes. They say, you're under, essentially, get out the car. So the wife now tries to jump in the car. She pulls the handle. Now, I want you to look directly at these tires down here. You're going to look at these tires, right? Those tires.
Right now, they're pointed left right now.
Then we're looking on the left-hand side there. So we see the tires. The tires are moving, right? Tires are starting to move. Tires are moving. And the car, and as you can see on the right, because it's a sync, you see the brake lights on. So you can see the car actually moving it on the right-hand side, but you see on the left, it's moving. And where's it stop? Boom.
Directly in front of him.
So the officer didn't place himself in front of the vehicle. The vehicle placed the officer in front of it.
So you know what? I would agree with people if she would have kept backing up.
Okay.
If she would have kept backing up, I would agree with people. But she stopped right there when it was in front of him and then shifted gears. if she wasn't trying to move forward, why please someone explain to me. Obviously no one can, no one's psychic, but if that was not her intention, she was just trying to get away, would it not been easier if she would have kept backing up where there was nobody behind her and had more space to maneuver and then turn, but not go forward, rotate the wheel all the way at a complete stop and then drive away? Because there was only one car about 30 feet to the right of her that she could have went around because she waved another car around it, because that's where she was going. So what was stopping her from going full reverse and then moving when he's fully clear of the front of the car?
Now, people keep saying, well, her intent wasn't to hit the officer. Agreed. You know what that to me that sounds like? That sounds like people who want to go rob a bank with toy guns. Their intent wasn't to shoot anybody.
They're just playing.
But I don't care what your intent is. I care what the threat assessment is at the moment. And if the threat assessment is you got guns that we all believe are real, we all believe that can hurt us, your intent doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the person's intent was. What it matters is how the person is receiving the information on the seat. And if it comes with a reasonable person would say this is a serious threat of death or serious physical injury, then you can react to it.
Because how is this guy supposed to? If I was standing in front of this, right?
Yeah, you're standing in front.
If I'm standing right there, and she's backing up, and then she rotates the wheel, and the car is directly in front of me, and you can hear when a car shifts gears, and you'll see it shift weight as well. What do you think a reasonable person is going to think? That car's going to move forward. Yeah. Because there's only two directions it could go at that point, forward or back. She wouldn't have needed to shift gears if she was going back, which would have, hey, you know what? I'm safe. I'm clear, whatever. But she shifted gears. She moved forward. I have a few seconds to decide whether or not my life is valuable to preserve.
Now, let's test that, because people keep thinking that this happened. Like when you're looking at these still shots, everybody's thinking this just happens in slow motion. Like, I can think, he could write a book, he can do a dissertation while he's doing all that, right? He's got computer-like Android mentality to this. That is not what happened here, people. Let's look at how fast from her pointing the wheels at him and hitting the gas to him being hit by the car and she pulling away. So so we're gonna play it in real time. This is real time. Whoa! How many seconds was that?
It was less than 2 seconds.
Right, less than 2 seconds. And people are saying, and he's hit. How do we know he's hit? Well, before it was like, oh, we're not too sure he's hit.
The angles were kind of bad.
Yeah. Oh, you got people saying, oh, this is like a movie prop, blah, 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 blah. He wasn't hit. Even though we had another angle that showed he was hit, don't believe what you see, he wasn't hit. Then you had some newscasters saying, well, he was brushed by the car. Matter of fact.
It's a love tap.
This is what the mayor of, the mayor of Denver. This is the mayor of, not Denver, mayor of Minneapolis, yes. This is what he said about the hit of the car. Let me see if I can get the mayor. All right, here it is. This is crazy. This is his description of the incident, right? So this is what he says. This is what he says about the officer being hit by the car.
I mean, my goodness, she's like doing a 3 or a 4 or 5 point turn.
So for Jake Tapper, run over is a factual bridge too far, but 5-point turn is just creative storytelling.
This looks like somebody that's trying to get out of there. If doing a 3-point turn or a 4-point turn is a domestic terrorist, and my wife is a criminal every single day. It does not make sense.
You have to admire the mayor's commitment to the bit. But notice how he tries to make it relatable by bringing up his wife. If the mayor thinks that driving into the highest insurance...
That does not appear to be the case at all.
But then 2 days later, the mayor was like, well, actually, she did hit him, but it wasn't a big deal.
Watch the video from every single angle. I mean, the ICE agent walked away with a hip injury that he might as well have gotten from closing a refrigerator door with his hips.
That's unbelievable.
When you have to, like,
whose refrigerator door is 4,000 pounds?
I don't know.
Who closes their refrigerator door with their hips?
That's a LG. The big LGs with the computer in the front and the screen. That's what that is.
I'm closing my refrigerator door. But you see how the lies have to evolve, right? He wasn't hit. Everybody know he wasn't hit. There's no evidence. Now, even the mayor who calls this unjustified says, well, he was hit, but it was a little tap. What do you believe here?
No.
It's why do you have to lie? He was hit. And you know why he can't say he was hit, and he was, because if you say he was hit and he was scared,
then it's justified.
Then it's justified.
But he wants to be reelected, so this is what he has. This is what he has to say. There's no chance of this guy being reelected unless he sticks with the narrative.
Let's go to these super chats because they're piling up, and I want to get to. We got to get to the Rashad. You guys got to see the Rashad Richey stuff. The Rashad Richey stuff is insane. For those of you who leave early, you got to come back and watch that story. Like, there's so many more fake documents.
Over an hour.
Just oh my god!
It's not even an exhaustive list.
No,
it's not even.
We're not even finished with the research, but we'll take care of that later. Police in sanctuary cities not turning over illegals in custody of to ICE. More raids happen to find them, resulting in others being swept up. Yes, and I think somebody else made that very good distinction between the Obama administration and this administration. About Obama deported more than Trump, but how many illegal immigrants have voluntarily deported themselves under Trump? That's a very, very good
Probably
point.
a lot.
Then Obama also imported a massive number to replace those deported. The Biden. Now, I think this is a very astute point, because Biden kind of just like, yo, you know what we're going to do? Just let them all in. Let them all in.
And in response to that, our good governor said, nope, guess what? You can go to Detroit.
But yeah, go to Detroit, go there, go here, go to the places that want you. And then it became a problem when they were in New York. Nate, happy to see you recover. But I have not recovered, but I am recovering. I'm just wanted to swing and say hello. Thank you. Hit me up. Oh, definitely. I'll definitely hit you up. Great coverage tonight. Thank you. And I want to make it very clear. We both think this is a tragedy.
Yeah.
We believe this woman should still be alive. But we are not saying the officer's tactics were less than ideal. They weren't great. Her responses to his mistakes weren't great. And I believe rational, reasonable people can say they both made mistakes, but her mistake cost her life.
It was
because when you hit the gas and somebody's in front of the car, you kind of rolling the dice. And somebody in front of that car just happened to have a gun at you saying, stop.
I mean, you can't get around that. There's two people in this scenario. Both of them have to take accountability for their actions. And if you notice, I was telling you this earlier, no one wants to hold her accountable for her actions at all. Any of her actions. There's always an explanation. There's always some type of way to rationalize away any form of accountability for her. If she's an adult, let her be accountable for her actions, cause and effect. Simple as that.
So glad you're back after surgery. See Megyn Kelly's video with sound where agent shouts, whoa, jumps back. Trump is dangerous. Shooting justified, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know what's up with Trump. Now, it's funny. Trump versus Harris. I'm not really a fan of Harris. I'm just going to say it, people. I know it's going to make people say, Nate's a big Trump guy, but I wasn't voting. I'm just saying, I'm going to vote for Harris. Harris she's just, especially after what was going on with Biden. I was like, we got to kind of be realistic.
11th hour candidate pick.
Yeah.
Like you see the meteoric rise of Obama and you compare the two. It's like your own base doesn't even really support you. So.
Yeah. And it's funny because more black people, and think about this, more black people, more Hispanic people, more young people all voted for Trump. So it wasn't just me who was thinking it. It was the vast majority of the country. For instance, every single swing state went for Trump. And it wasn't because it was all white people voting for him, all MAGA maniacs voting for him. It was rational, reasonable people saying, you know what? I'd rather go with this guy. Now, don't get me wrong. I think what's going on now is starting to become a disaster because the peace president now has us all in wars. And I always said it's very dangerous when you're stretched thin. We're in Iran. We're bombing Venezuela. We're talking about going into Cuba.
Greenland.
We're threatening Greenland. I thought this guy, he was talking about Nobel Peace Prize.
Peace through conquest.
Yeah, I don't know.
Glory to the God Emperor.
Oh, did I read this one? I'm glad you understood. Oh, yeah, I did. Thank you. Obama deportation numbers are fake. Oh, that's big claim there. Big claim. They count stuff just like immediately turning around, someone at the border. Why are you falling for the fake numbers? Well, these are the fake. Then why did Trump believe them? Because Trump if you hear about all the reports, one of his big things was, look, Obama did all these people. We need to have the Obama numbers. So if they were counting those fake numbers, I don't know. That's a hell of a claim. And if you have some evidence, I would like to see it.
Please.
But for right now, I'm just going with the official reports from the government.
What's available.
And the Trump people are reporting this, and Obama people are reporting that, and I'm just believing their numbers, right?
Because if there was a huge discrepancy somewhere, wouldn't the opposition say that? Say, hey, look, he's fudging numbers here.
And I think Obama, but it doesn't make sense for Obama to fudge the numbers up. It would make sense for him to fudge them down because everybody was complaining about him deporting so many people. So, yeah, I just don't agree with that. Maybe he fudged them down, but fudging them up was political suicide for him. I had someone argue he wasn't in danger because that brand of car is notorious for being able to go 0 to 60 quickly, and only 10% chance he could die.
I have not heard that. That's a new one.
Soon as you say chance of die, you know what chance of die means? Chance of die means there's a high degree of serious physical injury, and to use deadly physical force to stop someone who's trying to seriously physical injure you. And if it's a 10% chance, then unfortunately, she got 100% of the result.
That's a new one.
Even cops can't do a mere immigration. Even cops can't do what mere immigration did. It goes against the long-standing rule. I'm sorry, it's a little far. Let me see if I can make this bigger.
There we go.
Against the long-standing ruling of Tennessee v. Gardner. What's the long-standing ruling of Tennessee v. Gardner? It applies to all cops across the country. So Tennessee v. Gardner, for those of you who don't know, because again, it's a law channel, you can't shoot fleeing fellas in the back. So I don't think she was shot in the back.
She wasn't. And was she trying to move somewhere, probably get away? Sure, but she's in a vehicle and she's not running. But,
and y'all credible sources, Tim Pool? No, my credible source was the video. Tim Pool was narrating.
And this is exactly why I made the statement. Before we played the video, I told him the exact same thing Tim Pool did before he made the video.
Yeah,
because I'd watched it like 30 times easily when it first came out. That's why I did that. Because I like Tim Pool? No. Do I like the video where he pointed out the exact same thing that I saw? Yeah. It just facts don't care about who you like and don't like.
You can have whoever you like put them there and narrate that video, but I think he points out the points that we want to point out. So, but thank you though. You're right. He is Russian propaganda. Whatever you say about him could be true, but I'm into the evidence, not into his personal issues. The new thing is the injury. Injury was due to the phrase.
I like that. I like that one. That's my favorite one so far.
If his conduct is so permissible, why has the Trump called DOJ going so far out of its way to shut down and obstruct the full investigation? Because they're idiots.
I mean, they're absolutely overbearing. 110%.
You are 1,000% right. I don't know why they're doing this. I would say investigate. Police involved shooting, investigate it, see what happens.
And show that he's in the right. Like if you truly believe that, it's justified, go through the investigation.
It's their job to prove it to us. So I agree with this 1,000%. They should full investigation, should obstruct it. I want to see what happens. Thank you for that super chat.
They're shooting themselves in the foot with that one.
Hey, Renee Good. Thank you, King Buck. I appreciate it. Here is the thing. Okay, here we go. That thing is everyone is missing about the wheel spin. Every camera has a frame rate.
Mm-hmm.
There could be more wheel spin than we see due to the frame rate hiding some of the motion. So he's saying it could be going faster, which is true.
It makes a few complete revolutions.
Right,
but it could be more. But still, the fact that it made one full revolution by bare minimum shows that she was trying to accelerate in that direction.
Yes. Don't take my word for it. Go watch the breakdown of several career federal law enforcement agents who have more experience, credibility, knowledge than you guys or Russian asset, Tim Pool, whatever. Well, they could have as much experience as they want, because I watched a whole bunch of them tell me he was never hit by the car, right? I had a whole bunch of those FBI agents and federal, and their credibility is high. Their credibility is off the chart.
That was before we got the body cam footage.
Oh, yeah, that was
before the body cam footage.
He was standing in front of the car. Now we can see from the video. Oh, that wasn't true. So you're right. Maybe it's these FBI guys or these career prosecutors who are the Russian agents, because I kind of believe what I see, not what they say. because just like with Rittenhouse, I believed what I saw. They were telling me he was a murderer. They happen to be lying. All those federal law enforcement and career people. Remember that?
Yeah, I'm just regardless of what any I guess anybody's bona fide is, when you see the video that was just played or any video depicting that event and you look at the tires, why are the tires pointed directly at the officer? Why are they spinning in the direction of the officer? I'm not sure how people are missing that. Regardless of who says what, if she was not trying to hit him, if she was not trying to put his life in danger in any way, shape, or form, why were those tires spinning when they were in the 12 o'clock position when he was in front of that car?
But now I think this is very, very good, though. There were no police commands. Now, you're going to make us go play the video when they say, get out the car. Is get out the car a police command? Like, really? Like, do we have to play the video?
That's a suggestion.
Do we have to play the video for that? Get out the car, get out the car. Stop. Those sound like commands to me. Maybe go watch it again, because you're saying it's misinformation. We just literally heard it.
I watched this video
like we just watched it.
Like hear them shouting.
Are we really getting to this point now where we've got to hear the video again to hear them literally say something we already know they said?
You actually see the guy saying it is actually holding his hand up as well, because he's
Get
walking.
Out the car.
He's walking toward. He's holding his hand up. You can hear him.
Matter of fact, the reason why she peeled out is because they were giving her commands. Like, come on, man. Come on, bro.
Go, baby, go.
Listen, I appreciate the super chat, but come on, you know, maybe you think you're trying to come in here and fool us, but we just watched it. Like, let's keep it real here. What are your thoughts on the DOJ reportedly investigating Good's wife? I think they're probably investigating her because she was essentially an accomplice to for the felony. But
they call her a domestic terrorist. So they're probably trying to tie
which
her
is insane. She's not a domestic terrorist. Neither was Ashley. I don't think either one of them domestic terrorists.
Propaganda.
But I think they shouldn't charge the wife. She suffered enough.
Yeah, she's the one who gave her wife the order to drive, and then watched her get shot in the head. Leave the lady alone.
I think she suffered enough.
Leave that lady alone.
I wouldn't prosecute her. I don't think. We're about to move on to the next. Yeah. Well, we have some more super chats we'll get to, but and thank you guys for the super chats. And I just want to make it very clear. I'm gonna try to read as many as possible. If we can't get to them all, I will at least try to put them on the screen. Lots of U.S. citizens being mistaken for illegals and taken by ICE. Yes. Then being released with marks over the face. Yes, and they should sue for 1983 claims. Should they have guns to protect themselves from ICE beating them? I think this is bad tactics, and I think any U.S. citizen who stopped by ICE and detained unlawfully should be compensated fairly for their because they have rights. So this is a good point.
I was telling Nate, my cousin actually is racially ambiguous, okay? And my cousin was actually recently stopped here in Houston by ICE. So and this is something that, because I have a group chat with me, my cousin who is a cop, and my former captain in the Army. We all talk about this stuff. And the issue that I have with, especially with the tactics, you have some ICE agent from Podunk, Kentucky, who doesn't know what a Creole is and can't tell the difference between a Mexican and a Creole because, well, they just look the same. And so you're putting that guy in the position of power and then saying, well, we don't need a whole lot of oversight. We trust him. That's a breeding ground for issues later. So I absolutely agree. And so, yes, some of this has impacted us, but regardless, facts are the facts.
Yeah, and I think people have to remove what's going on now with this particular case from what actually happened with that, what happened individually. So ICE's general, I want to be very clear. I'm not happy with what ICE is doing. The militarization, the putting on masks, the going, what the hell's going on, right? There's a better way to do this.
Playing Call of Duty.
Yeah, but so I'm not stopping American citizens and all that stuff. If ICE comes up to anybody here in this chat who's an American citizen and says, give me your ID, my first answer to them is F you, get the hell out of here. They would have to arrest me. I would not show them my ID because I'm an American. And now I know if somebody's illegal and they say that, well, how do you know? Well, you know what? That's your job to already know before you come and try to detain me.
Cost random people, because, well, hey.
If you're going to the Home Depot and I see a whole bunch of people out there standing up and I see they happen to be, if ICE is going in and grabbing those people and arresting them and then trying to figure it out later, I think that's a problem. because some of those people, like this guy was saying, are American citizens. But now, I do want to. I think it's time for us to transition to the point where we're talking about this. Is that everybody's saying the ICE officer wasn't hit? I'll say this. I have to be fair to the liberal media because there were a lot of them that were saying she was hit. They were downplaying it. She was brushed. You just saw the mayor saying
she kind of bumped a little bit.
Yeah, it was a refrigerator hit bump or whatever he said, right?
Yeah.
So we saw a lot of that. But essentially, like half of them were saying yes. But then you had a whole contingency of people saying he was never hit. That was all lies. It was all blah blah. Even though you had the video, right? It's like the Kyle Rittenhouse. Even though you had video, people are still denying the fact. If you say the sky was blue, no, it's not blue. And the reason why it's not because I voted for the other guy. But now we know that Renee Good's, unfortunately, the guy that I think who shot Renee Good suffered internal bleeding as a result of this thing. And now all the news media is reporting it, from TMZ to ABC to all this stuff. And the sad part about it is that we all have the same facts.
Same video.
We all have the same video. We all are seeing the same thing, but we all are coming to wildly different conclusions based on like this is clear. She pointed the vehicle at the officer.
She's scared.
But you're still going to go on Twitter and you're still going to go to your echo chambers, for those of you who are on the left, and go and they're still going to say, no, he was standing in front of the vehicle. Like, she didn't place the vehicle in a way and she didn't point the vehicle at the officer and just hit the gas.
See, this is where you crazy. You should know better. Do you really think those people are going to hold a liberal white woman accountable for her actions? She's a victim.
Yeah.
Victim.
It's insane.
Victim.
It's insane. So I think we've killed this story to death, but we are now going to move on to the Dr. Rashad Richey story.
Doctor.
Just to give you guys a preview. This is just a little taste before we actually move to the Rashad Richey story, because we get to some of your super chats. I want to play this for you. This is Dr. Rashad Richey. He is giving a commencement speech? No, yeah. He's the commencement speaker at Albany University, and they're going to read off his qualifications. This is what he
submitted,
yeah,
and they're reading it, by the way. So that, because we know later, we didn't say that. So why was this information given prior to the speech for this person to read it? So,
matter of fact, I should put a picture of Rashad Richey on the screen first, so people know who he is. This guy's from TYT. He's Rashad Richey. He has a whole bunch of degrees and stuff like that. I've done a video on how most of these things are likely fake, but we're going to go back. So this person is going to take 1 minute and read off the degrees, because this is what he gave them.
Dr. Richey serves as a professor of physics at Paris Graduate School, is a visiting scholar at Clark Atlanta University, and a professor of business at Morris Brown College. Dr. Richey completed his Juris Doctor degree at Renaissance University. Dr. Richey also completed doctoral studies at Clark Atlanta University in higher education policy reform, and earned a second PhD from the Business University of Costa Rica, and holds an MBA from Beulah Heights University. He finished his Master's of Science in Neuroscience from the University of the Pacific, and a second Master of Science in Applied Physics and Quantum Mechanics, and a Master of Law in Humanitarian Rights, and is currently enrolled in a PhD in Quantum Physics Research Program through the Innovate Knowledge Institute at Paris Graduate School. Dr. Richey was honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award from President Barack Obama in 2016, and is the youngest inductee into the National Black College Alumni Hall of Fame.
Now, hold on. This National Black College Alumni Hall of Fame, that's got to be a joke. So you know what? So we can show you guys how crazy this thing is. There are 20. Here, I'll share this. Let me share this. So there are 24 degrees, right? Degrees, certificates, all that stuff. We kind of laid them all out in positions, right?
This is not the exhaustive list.
Yeah.
This is just what we've been able to. So this took over an hour. Okay, this is not the entire list.
This is what he claims. Like, for instance, in the year 2023, read it off. In 2023, he went to Harvard Law School and got a finance. He got a Juris, because people want to say he said Juris doctorate from Haiti. He attended the Birmingham Law School in 2023. He also got an LLM in law from the Haitian Renaissance School. He's got applied physics master's
Costa Rica.
from Costa Rica. Yes, he's got applied physics
Again.
master's from the Paris Institute in France. Cognitive psychology master's from the Asian Pacific School of Business. This is all in 2023. We're talking about 1 year here, guys. And 2023, he's got an MS in neuroscience from Nicaragua. He's also got another law degree, but it's 2024. So in 2023, this man
He has like 5 master's degrees.
It's insane. who he's done. This is in 1 year. So obviously, we got some issues here. So it's freaking insane. Let me hit some of these super chats.
Because like this is going to take. This is funny. Like it was painful, but it's funny.
Yeah, it's painful. It's painful. And we're going to do a standalone video for this one too. Last of your citizens. Oh, yes, we read this one. Something that bothers me that no one's acknowledged: the video bias. Yes, which makes it seem so much less sketchy on camera than it certainly feels in real life. Favorite creator, Nate. Thank you. It does. And everybody watching it in frame by frame slow motion. The officer. So the whole event happened in 7 seconds. So think about it. I can barely leave this room in 7 seconds. We're talking about, car hitting you, shooting back. The shots occurred in like 0.7 seconds. So people are saying, what about the second and third shots? Well, they all occurred in rapid succession. The Supreme Court said that's going to be considered generally going to be considered one act. There's case law on that. There was one woman who was shot 15 times, and they considered that to be one use of force act and all those bullets. But now if there's like a pause, like you shoot boom, boom,
and then
wait, and then boom, 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 then
you got time to think about that. Pause.
Could have just driven forward initially and made a right turn. That's true. She could have, but
decided not to.
But she made a mistake, and I think he made a mistake, and I think they both thought that she was trying to get out of it. She wasn't trying to hit the officer. People say she's trying to hit the officer. I don't think she was trying to hit the officer at all. I think that's just.
I think it's reckless and dangerous.
Yeah, it was. She was being reckless, and I think he was being a little too aggressive by being so close to the front of the car, knowing that things were a little tense there. But
I think that's the one thing everybody agrees on is that he shouldn't have even been
in the
vicinity at all. Period. Yeah.
Let me see. Love your channel. Could you offer some insight as to why ICE agents have a cell phone recording and not a body cam? Right. I don't know. Maybe they just didn't have enough.
Let me tell you a secret. Yeah. Let me tell you a secret. The federal government's cheap. Okay. It's cheap.
That's true. You know more better than I do.
Okay. They're issuing that costs money. So it's easier to say, hey, you guys on your phones, go ahead and record and then just upload it to this place. That's really what it is. It's cheap.
Seems like it takes away from situational awareness and slows reaction. Yes. If you have a record of your phone, yes. The minute she was told to get out of the car and refused, fled, became her fault. Yeah, and that's what they're mostly saying in the hood. I think a lot of people in the hood are saying the same thing. Like in my newest video, I got all these people from the hood say, explaining like. Online, it seems like everybody's like, "Oh my God, she was murdered in this place." But when you go in real life and you start asking people, it's like, it's not a lot of people are thinking this way. From my circles, from the hood, and I play poker and I do all of this stuff. Ain't no way most people are on the same page. But it could be because I'm in a more conservative state. But it is what it is. And Nate the lawyer, you should know better from a legal standpoint. Your argument doesn't hold any weight. This is interesting. Okay. If anything, he placed himself in front of the vehicle.
And she veered off to the right to avoid. Okay, well, so legally, do you have a responsibility as a driver behind a motor vehicle? Yes or no? If the answer is yes, then there's accountability for what happens when you're behind the wheel of that vehicle, regardless of your intention.
And we just watched how she moved the vehicle and placed him in front of the vehicle. She moved the vehicle and pointed it toward him.
Because you imagine if this would have went to court, if they hadn't died, this went to court. And a lawyer goes, okay, at that point in time, Miss Good, what options did you have upon hearing the orders for you to shut off your vehicle and exit? What were your options?
And while you have your hands on the wheel, looking at an officer in front of in front of the car, what were your options? To put the car in park and follow officer's commands. But what did you do instead? I turned the wheel and pressed the gas.
Shift the gears twice.
And turn the wheel and press the gas.
So it's like you can't. Everyone who answers in this manner has to remove any accountability from this woman. That's the only way people come to this conclusion. They don't want her to be accountable for her own actions. And I'm sorry, not sorry, but that's reality. We're all accountable.
No training officer tells officers to film when they're allegedly filmed. I don't think he felt. It's not. I have to feel in danger the whole time. Yeah. Remember, they started filming as soon as he got out the car. It's when do you feel in danger? When she hit the gas and the car starts shooting at him in those 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So let's be honest with the facts here. Let's be honest with the facts. I can play the video again, but it's just going to get redundant. Here, I'm so tired of the narratives. Thank you for covering this all of this, Nate, and showing the actual facts. She should have never been in the middle of the street.
Stop trying to hold her accountable for her actions.
Yeah.
She's
the victim. She's the
Trump supporter, racist.
Nate the Great. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you. Most people in the chat would have all kinds of excuses if, God forbid, you two were taken out by cops.
If
No
I
matter
do
how
something
you comply.
stupid in the presence of police, that's my ass. Doesn't matter how anybody feels about it. I know, again, from Louisiana, the Danziger Bridge Massacre, there's a reason people don't trust NOPD. I understand that just growing up outside of any political context. If I know that I have a family, I want to preserve my life, I need to act in accordance with behaviors that would keep me alive. And pressing the gas with an officer who has a gun in front of me isn't in line with that.
Yeah, it's Black Shadow says, I politely ask people to state the situation was obviously not who state the situation was obviously not dangerous. And the agent should have read things, I'm assuming things differently to go recreate the situation to prove it. I do prefer to see evidence and facts. And I'll say this though.
That's a good point.
If you guys really believe it was so easy, I'll be in front of my car and you walk past my car and I'm just gonna hit the gas randomly. And if you hear the tires screeching and you're in front of the car, if you're telling me you're not being afraid, you're not gonna be scared, you're not gonna be afraid for your life, you're not gonna be afraid for your safety. You know you're lying to yourself.
The federal
right?
government has use for you if you don't have fear.
Yeah. So glad to see you back. I love showing your face in my city's glasses. Thank you. Would you consider doing a reaction to Legal Eagle's analysis of the issue? He's on the opposite spectrum of this. Kurt actually did a very good, because I
did a response video.
Did a response video. Yeah. But I'll do one because a lot of people have been asking me to do it. So I'll do one. I'll look through it and do one. Tard's going to be Tard.
I just think people have to just stick to a narrative. That's all it is.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. The Obama administration counted turnaways. We got this already about the turnaways at the border. General inflates the numbers. Blah blah blah. But Trump administration, they say the numbers are good because that was the issue. Trump wanted his numbers to be better than Obama's. So maybe you're right. But it seems like they calculate numbers the same. So if that's the case, then I would expect Trump's numbers to be better too. Because I would expect, hey, if we're counting people who are turning away, then he should be counting people that are turning away. 90% of the FBI agents don't personally serve a warrant or put handcuffs on the subject. These are tasks mostly done by local state. Yes, and tactical teams. That's true. But FBI does have tactical teams because I know when I was working in law enforcement, they do have people come in. I remember I had a fake counterfeit bill, fake counterfeit money. So like they sent a package, and the package gave, it was like a brick for like $100,000, and so we opened it up. We're like, oh, this is great. So
and it magically disappeared.
No, it's still there, thank God. But so we called, but they looked fake. So we called, and Secret Service came. They looked at it, took it, and then found the person. So then what they did, they kept it there, and was like, somebody's gonna come back for this.
Oh, and they just waited.
So and they waited for the person, and the person came, was like, hey, do you got to get delivery? And the Secret Service was the person that arrested him. So they did put handcuffs, but it was in that narrow field of, the money, because they're under the
special circumstances. They're different jurisdictions. Yeah.
Maybe Simon says get out the car. Maybe.
That could work.
The problem with the self-defense tire argument, okay, in a court of law is the ICE agent didn't perceive the tire direction. He doesn't have to perceive the tire direction.
You can hear the
only
engine
thing
rev.
He did perceive was her turning the steering wheel away from him. No. See, what happens is you're narrowing it too much. It's about the car, because even if this was true, the fact that the car hit him totally blows this up, right? The fact that the car actually hit him blows this up.
Because you can say, you know what, he probably wasn't scared, fine, whatever. Yeah, and he might not have been, but the car did strike him. That's an undeniable fact. So the fact that the car did hit him shows that there was imminent danger. That the hit is the imminent danger.
That actual, and he was firing while being hit. So even if you're saying he shouldn't have been scared, shouldn't have been that, when the car is hitting him, he's firing in that moment, you have two things happening. You have a vehicular assault happening, and at the same time, you have him reacting to that vehicular assault. Because him being hit, I know a lot of people aren't saying this, could be even attempted murder. But this was a vehicular assault occurring.
It was kayfabe.
And he was responding to that vehicular assault.
It's kayfabe. It's all wrestling tactics.
ICE agents cannot arrest citizens as their primary duty, and I don't believe they were. They were arresting her because she was trying to stop them from doing what they do, which they can arrest you for.
You cannot interfere with any federal. That includes National Guard, by the way. That includes regular Army. You cannot interfere as a civilian. Cannot interfere with an active operation. If you don't believe me, go run across a field where you have your local National Guard training and see what happens.
Yeah, I think people feel like they like she couldn't have been arrested. She couldn't, but it's obvious she could.
They have the authority to do that.
Yes, because of the way the circumstances were.
Yeah, if she was standing on the side of the road, right, and she's just yelling and throwing snowballs at him, no, they can't go and arrest her. But the fact that she put herself, because I think they were in a convoy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they were in a convoy.
Yeah, so
and she was blocking the convoy because she knew they were coming.
You cannot do that.
Yeah.
Again, if you think that you can, please go do it at your local National Guard station. When they are convoy or their weekend training, you go do that and let me know how that works out.
People are complaining he was poorly trained. He reacted in a split second with the training says, the training ends when your life is in danger. And again, you shoot to stop the threat. He kept shooting until the threat was over. So I don't think he has anything to worry about. Whoever thinks Tim Pool is a Russian asset because American media company paid to show his videos on their platform maybe had some hidden Russian, not Russia, funding. They probably went
the Leering Center.
The Leering Center, huh? The Leering Center is that story.
That's the best meme.
All right, here we go again.
Leering.
Self-defense is about what the defendant perceived. Here it's what the officer perceived. You guys watching the video perceived the tire direction. We did, but he did not. Okay. What we could see from his camera angle is he saw a grill of a vehicle pointed at him. And then he saw that vehicle shoot right at him, hitting him. So that happened in 2 seconds. Gun pointed, vehicle shoots at you. He shoots at vehicle.
So if the alligator's coming towards you, okay, if the alligator's coming out the water, you need to see the alligator's feet underneath it in order to know the alligator's coming towards you, right?
I think you do, but that's what
you
you're saying.
You
right?
can't look at the snout
right?
of the
You
animal
the whole thing
and see it coming toward.
No,
Okay,
no.
makes sense.
You got to see
I got it.
But you can, and people forget you can hear the wheels squealing, like you can hear the slipping of the wheels when you're there. Like I don't know, maybe you don't live in some place that's cold, but I used to live in New York, and you can hear when say somebody hits the gas and the wheel spins. So especially that doesn't work. When people advocate for children being chemically and surgically mutilated, there we go. That's when you get someone like Trump voted in. That's true. I agree with that. But now I want to go. You guys are spot on and absolutely hilarious.
We might do this more often if y'all enjoy this.
Let me go to All right, so let's get back to Dr. Richey because I know everybody wants to talk about the ICE shooting. We talk about the ICE shooting. And I get it.
We're beating a dead horse.
But it's like every comment here. So I'll put the comments up, but a lot of these comments we've already responded to. So, and I super appreciate you guys.
Yeah, the interaction is great. We want people to push back. Please do.
When people advocate for, so we read this one already. Sorry, there's just so many. All right, here we go again. The agents wouldn't likely be able to introduce evidence that the tire direction at trial. Yes, he would. He would just show the video. The video would be introduced as trial.
Because you got to think, if this is in front of a jury, and then the prosecutor's like, okay, hey, look, if any of you jurors were in front of that car, what key things would you pick up on to perceive danger? Let's pretend that you're in a Walmart parking lot and there's a car pulling out. What would you perceive in order to elicit a fight or flight response? Maybe the hood of the car, maybe the heat from the grill, maybe the sound. there's a whole bunch of cues that you can pick up on in order to elicit that response. You don't specifically need to see tired, just like with the alligator example. I can see the snout of the alligator and look at its teeth and figure out it's coming in my direction. I mean, that's, so.
But Handel is right on the law, though. Self-defense is about what the defendant perceived. That is totally true. And it would be on the defendant to say, I perceive this, I perceive. But I think the video, because the video gives you more context. So I forget the name of the rule because brain surgery, but you want to have a complete picture. So that video would be coming in, even though I do think this is a really good point, but the video would be coming in. And this one, and we'll get the rest of your super chats. We just are going to, because we're going to be here all day if we just keep answering these questions. Great Britain will have a super hardcore dictator with the next 20 years because it's now run by Karens.
Well, they're having an invasion of what, like Pakistanis or something, or I forgot what it was. But yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on there.
So let's go to our Dr. Richey story. So for those of you who don't know, Dr. Richey, he did a video. Here is the video.
This is the response video, or is this the initial video?
So this video that I'm about to put up is his response. So Cam did a video, then he did a second video, and then he did this. Hold on. Audio from this is StreamYard. See? Your browser lost connection or Audio Studio. So what I can do is I can close this, and then I can open it up. So what happens is that what's his name? Cam James did a video showing how Dr. Richey's issues were what did they say about his issues? His degrees were fake.
There's certain ones, not all of them. Let me say it.
Yes.
Not all of them are fake.
He
actually does have, I think, three legit degrees.
Yeah,
and they're not anything to sneeze at. Well, I think the BA is, but he does have 3 legit degrees, and one of them is an MBA, and I think the other one is an ED.
Yes.
Yeah, he does have not erectile dysfunction. He has a doctorate of education.
And we'll actually see it. But so what I wanted to show people is that we actually got Richey's deleted video. So Richey responded and he deleted his video when we did our video, right? So he deleted his video. Now we have the video, and I'll put it up on screen. So this is the video with Rashad Richey. And
it is disputable.
It's disputable. So he did this video responding to the whole fake degrees. That's why on the bottom it says Dr. Richey responds to false allegations regarding his education, if you guys can see that. But in that video, there were some documents up there that were like absolutely fake. So for instance, this is the one, and that's the reason why we think this was taken down. I'm going to pull up the document that
he shows receipts. He puts them up on the screen, but there's a bit of an issue. And I've noticed that he'll put them up for a little bit, but you see it that
university
thing, right? But look carefully if you can.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pull it up.
Let's see if you think they'll spot it.
Oh, you should I just ask them just to see if they can see?
Yeah, let's see if they can see it, and then let's see if they can spot it.
So here is the document that we are going to look at.
USA.
So this is the document we're going to look at, and so I'm gonna do.
So
I'm gonna do this way because I got to do this, and I got to pull it up. Here we go.
There we go. Zoom in.
All right. So we're gonna zoom in. So this document, we know it's fake. We know it's fake, and the reason why is if you look up top, it says University del Pacifico, right? And he is saying this is real. He is saying this is real in this video. It's already been downloaded, so this is just so I can get the transcript. So it's going to be off of here.
It says a mission letter.
Yeah, this is a mission letter. But if you can see the seal is actually from a different school. It's from what is it? San Jose School of blah.
So University of Santa Ana, Costa Rica.
Yes, that's where it's from. So he put up fake documents to try to prove he had real degrees, and it just kind of went to hell. So they took this video down, and then Richey tried to have a friend of his do a video responding to like the Cam James situation and responding to all of us because we all had said this. So we're going to respond to that video, and I'm gonna put this video up here. So this is a video that, well, you know what? I'll play the video.
Because I've not seen this one yet.
So yeah, so we'll play it.
I really didn't have an opinion on the matter. I kind of felt it was enough news for everyone to. Over and over, I've been asked to weigh in on the impacts that bloggers and podcasts are having on traditional journalism. And to be honest, at first, I really didn't have an opinion on the matter. I kind of felt it was enough news for everyone to investigate. That view has since changed. I've seen a flood of podcast investigations that lack some basic journalism principles. Among them, a series of stories done on Dr. Rashad Richey and his degree status. For context, Dr. Richey is an Emmy-nominated broadcaster, political strategist, news analyst, business executive, and professor, and he holds an abnormal number of degrees.
Be fearless, report on matters, be an advocate. No matter what you do, don't allow the politics of ideology to evaporate the soul that still exists inside of you. They don't stop, I don't stop. Racism won't stop, I won't stop. People still need criminal justice systems reform, so I won't stop. You won't stop either.
Now, I do want to make it very clear, and I do need to say this. Now, thank you for all the people who sent me all the documents on Dr. Richey. He was convicted of a felony. He has multiple run-ins with the law. I have his mugshot. I even have his police report. I have the initial police report. I have all that stuff. I'm just saying, personally, for all those people who said that, thank you, but it's irrelevant to this conversation. Yeah. Why? Because I think that actually, and to be fair, the way I think about that, I think it's actually fantastic that he was able to go through that, turn his life around, and get 3 actual degrees and become an actual doctor of education.
No, that's good. That's admirable.
Yeah. So I think we need to acknowledge that journey that he went through was something that we can all celebrate. But lying, like going the extra step and lying about all these other degrees and going to say I'm getting from Costa Rica and all this stuff, that's where I think he went a bridge too far. So the fact that he has a criminal justice history, a criminal past, it's essentially meaningless to me because I honestly feel that, hey, he overcame that. But the doubling and tripling down and putting up fake documents is hurting the whole situation because now no one's going to be able to trust this guy.
Well, when you tell one lie, you have to keep telling more lies to back it up. So yeah. I mean, it's inevitable.
On the surface, when you watch these stories about Dr. Richey, they sound legit, and the bloggers and podcasters appear believable. Because let's be honest, who has 10 graduate degrees?
That's right. Let's be honest. Who has 10 graduate degrees?
I know people. The most I know, I would say someone that has about 3. Mm-hmm. But that's over the course of like 15 years. Yeah. That they get that. So that's believable. But Richey has like at least 10. And these are not just bachelor's; these are like master level.
We're going to go over the list of degrees so you guys can see what we see.
But full disclosure, I actually know Dr. Richey. We worked together at the CBS station in Atlanta. While there, I distinctly remember the station working around his weekend law school schedule. He would leave early on Fridays to go to class. That inside information raised some red flags, and I decided to fact check some of these stories. I started with the institutions themselves to verify admissions. Then I contacted Dr. Richey to request an interview. I also reached out to those making the claims.
Never reached out to me. I don't remember again. I never got anything.
You didn't Did you check the spam folder?
Maybe I got to check the spam folder. I don't know. She didn't reach out to me.
Check your junk mail.
Matter of fact, if she has reached out to me, I'll reach out to her and have her on the channel. I'll say, come on my channel, right? I got way more subscribers than she has. Come on and we'll talk about it.
Maybe she sent the smoke signal.
Maybe. And I'll send my information. Matter of fact, you know what I'll do? I'll send all my information to her. Maybe she'll respond. That's it. Okay. Yeah, because matter of fact, I can contact her through YouTube. So we'll see. I will respond and give her all my information and have her come on and show us how we're wrong about Dr. Richey.
Out of the 10 to 12 advanced degrees Rashad Richey's claimed to hold over the last 25 years or so, almost all of them are from fake schools, diploma mills, or non-existent degree programs at real schools.
That's true.
Most of them.
That's true.
He didn't say all. He said most of them.
Yeah,
that is true.
Matter of fact, there are some on his bio that we know are fake because he had to remove them because they're fake. On this bio, that's been up here too. So this is not even like a question. It's like that's just what happened. So let's see how she says this is wrong.
That claim is incorrect. First, Google Images and web searches are not an effective means of qualifying a degree. There are organizations whose sole purpose is to evaluate foreign degrees and determine their U.S. equivalency and accreditation.
So hold on. You can't go to a school's website, and if it doesn't exist, or if it's like or if it's from what was it, Schofield, right?
The Schofield one, yeah.
Schofield Graduate School.
So because if I tell you that I have a master's degree by the University of Houston Clear Lake, you should be able to go to University of Clear Lake and see if they offer that degree. Is that not true?
Yes, that is
Okay.
true. That is true.
So if I can do that, if anyone can do that for my degree, why can't we do the same thing for Dr. Richey? I don't understand the argument here.
I think the argument here is let's look at the Schofield Graduate School, because that's I think is the easiest one to show like what we're talking about. Where do I have the Schofield? Do I have it here? Nah, you know what? I'll let her continue to talk while I look at Schofield, just to show you guys how deep we've gotten into this, so you guys can see. I'll put it on the screen. We have the charts. We have bios from everywhere. We got this. We got TYT bio. We even read his papers. We went to the school's websites. Here is another thesis that he says he writes. Here's another like we did our homework, right? We didn't just make this up. We went in and said, are we being fair? Are we making these things? Are these things just made
maybe
up?
It's a communication issue.
Oh, this could be an accident. So we did our homework. So
because I think what she's arguing a different point, in my opinion, because she's saying, okay, well, these guys are saying that these degrees aren't legit because they come from another country, and that's
I don't
not
think anybody's saying that.
That's not what we're saying. That because there's plenty of people, we know some people that have degrees from other countries,
yes,
right? And there are certain institutions in the U.S. that will tell you whether or not it meets the standard for accreditation here. Great, I agree, but if he says he has a degree from an institution, I should be able to find that institution. I should be able to go to their website. I should be able to contact their registrar and see if they offer the degree he claims to have from that institution. And I should be able to do that for anybody. So if I can't do that, that presents a problem.
So I'm going to play this. So I found the Schofield clip. So I'm going to switch to here. And here's Johnny Walker Black. He's going to tell you about Schofield, because this, again, he says, she just said all of the schools are real, all the degrees are great.
Now, I look through this. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on here. So I figured, okay, one way to find out what a school really is about is to go to the actual address.
Now, mind you, just to show you, Schofield, this is the school that he claims he has his PhD from. And I want to make it show you exactly. Here are a couple of places before we get into the debunking. This is his legal store, because he's a fake lawyer, but he's claiming to be a lawyer. He has it here on, what is it, Schofield. Let's Control F to make this easier. SCO. Is it Schofield? Is it, what am I, SCH? Am I spelling it wrong?
SCO.
That's what, yeah. No, it's
I don't think he has it on this one.
Oh, you see? This is one.
I think he has it on the other one. Yeah, the Morse. I think it's the Morse College one. So that was part of the issue. When he makes a bio on certain websites or he submits it, he'll actually omit certain degrees. And that's sort of what causes a lot of the confusion, because there's a variety of certificates and stuff that he also has that some of them don't. I think it's down here.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. So some of those certificates may or may not show up as well. And as well as the professorships and different things like that. So it's actually hard to find a master list
because
of everything,
because he keeps changing it everywhere. But so here at the bottom, so this is Dr. Richey's this is his bio from teaching at Morris. So this is Morris, just so you guys can see the staff, like the faculty directory, Morris Brown College. And on page 48, he has his bio. Now, obviously, his bio's got to be super long because that's kind of his thing. So when you go to his bio, he puts here that he has a PhD from Schofield. He's a doctor and from Schofield. So let's go to page 48, 46, 47, 48. And if you go to 48, here it is, Rashad Richey, part-time, blah, 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 blah. And if you go down, see Schofield Graduate School, International Accreditation, Doctor of Philosophy, right? That's what he says. So it's here, right? We're not making this up. This is in his faculty directory. You could
check it yourself. Yeah, if you don't believe us, go to Morris College, right? Instructional staff listing, page 48, and you look at it yourself. Don't believe anything that we're saying. Okay.
Matter of fact, here is the link in the chat. So Justin,
so just so y'all can see, no one's making this stuff up as was being claimed here. So he has this up here now. Either Morris College put it up there because they just felt like it, or he put it on there because he just wants to have it on there. That's just his choice. Hey, whatever.
Yeah. So here we go. We're looking at Schofield, right? So we're at Schofield. So now let's go over to show you why Schofield is fake. Now remember, she just said, "Oh, it's a fake. This is wrong. There's no journalism integrity." So this is why we know for a fact Schofield is bullshit.
Where are they? I scroll down here.
That he's on Schofield's website.
Contact us.
Right.
And here is the actual address. 1483 Mabel Avenue in Modesto. That's interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at what 1483 Mabel Avenue, Modesto looks like. And there it is. There is your PhD granting institution where Rashad Richey claims that he got his doctorate. Maybe you think, well, wait a minute, maybe it's across the street. No, if you kind of scroll through and look around, this is the neighborhood where this esteemed university is located. And yeah, that's it. There it is.
I know, it's insane. It's insane. It is insane. It is insane.
Like, I just maybe it's just me. That didn't look like the type of institution that grants such degrees.
Yeah.
Says the National Association of Credential Evaluation Services is one of those organizations.
So she's saying, let me go back so we can see what she says. So now, is she going to address Schofield?
A degree. There are organizations whose sole purpose is to evaluate foreign degrees and determine their U.S. equivalency and accreditation status.
So that's a U.S. degree. So do we need to evaluate that degree to see if it's real?
No, that's in Modesto, California. That's not
just a BS. So and he doesn't even and he matter of fact he claims this on TYT. He claims this PhD everywhere. But we'll get to the list.
Status. NACIS, the National Association of Credential Evaluation Services, is one of those organizations. And this is a NACIS member report for Dr. Richey's Juris Doctorate degree from Renaissance University in Haiti. It shows.
Now, this is a lie. You know why? Because the school they're referencing does not offer Juris doctorates. It does not. It absolutely does not. But later on, you're going to see a diploma that says Juris Doctorate from this Haitian school that teaches a French system. Not the system that we teach in law, a totally different system.
There's one place, and me and Nate talked about this before. There's one place in the U.S. that practices this type of law, and I say in part, but that's Louisiana. They still follow the Napoleonic Code. Some of you may not know that. But if you want to be a lawyer, you have to actually study and learn the Napoleonic Code. Every other 49 states, they don't do that, right? So that's actually pretty important. But if you're not too familiar with distinctions like that, then it's easy to kind of get fooled. And plus, like the Android and stuff like that, I didn't know about that, So this is a degree.
This is supposed to be his degree.
No.
That's no. So we fast forward. This is supposed to be his degree.
No.
Now I'm going to give you guys 2 seconds to tell you what's wrong with this. Is there anything wrong with this? Well, if you haven't figured it out yet, number one, all of their degrees and paperwork are in French. What the hell is this English doing on here? And what's the option of the Juris Doctor? They don't offer that. Matter of fact, I even have a handy chart because see, when you know the legal system, you understand there are 2 types of systems: the common law, civil law. And he is now claiming to have a doctorate in joint. But there is no Juris Doctor in the civil system. He got his degree from the civil system. And to show you how much this is a lie, I'm going to let Dr. Richey tell you why this is a lie. He does not have a doctorate in joint, even though that piece of paper was fake. Here is Dr. Richey. Go ahead.
Just So you mean to tell me?
Okay.
I want to understand. So he did his research to see that there is an institution in Haiti that possibly offers some sort of law degree, and what he's been putting in all of his bios actually applies to the American system of law.
Correct. Not the civil system in law, not the French system, which is totally different. So just so we can present this too, because again, it's like a little education here, because that's the way he's able to fool so many people, is because
they don't know the difference.
They don't know the difference. See, here in the United States, we have Juris Doctor. That's it. I always call it Juris Doctor, but I don't want to confuse people, so it's a Juris Doctor. And you hear some people say jurist with a T, but it's Juris Doctor. So in our system, the undergraduate degree is usually called a pre-law degree. That's where you see law, pre-law, right? There's really no master's in law. There's LLMs here in the United States. You do have some schools that do issue LLMs, but generally it's called the pre-law degree. And that's equivalent to a license in Detroit. That's their undergraduate degree in law.
Okay.
Then you have the Master of Laws, and the French system is called a Master in Droit.
So these are essentially equivalent. Like
these would be the
equivalents. Okay.
There's no equivalent to a JD, because generally in their system you don't need a JD to practice, but it's a professional license here in the United States.
Is this when you pass the bar?
This allows you to take the bar.
Okay.
To take the bar.
Need that. Okay.
Yes. Now, when you go up to the doctorate in Droit, that's a research degree, a doctor of law. So now there is no. Now he says he has a doctor in Droit, and you'll see later. Let's go back to this video. You'll see here he says he has a doctorate in Droit, and then later you're going to see he's going to say he has a master of law from the same school in Haiti. But as you know, as now you know, this school doesn't offer a master's in law. It would be called, what would it be called? Just if we were taking a test. What would it be called? It would be called a master in Droit.
Okay. Now, okay.
It would be called a master in Droit. It would not be called.
Getting it. I think I'm getting it here. I think I might. It's just.
It's because he's now. Test time. What's wrong with this document? Now I'll give it 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to ask people in chat.
It's in landscape.
Well, I'm going to ask the people in chat.
Let's see if they know.
I'm going to ask you just one simple question about this degree. Number 1, the mixed languages. What the hell?
It's Haitian Creole at the top.
It's Haitian and Creole, and then all of a sudden, it's in English. Then all of a sudden, it's back in Creole. So yeah. Number 2, Master of Law is definitely wrong. But I think people are forgetting a simple thing, and that's how you catch scams, people. You catch scams because they miss the simple stuff. Where's the date?
He just got it. That's all that matters.
Where is the date?
Somebody said URL. Yeah, I noticed the URL too. I've never seen anybody's degree URL. Yeah. Just click the pay for it and it's pop up.
Where's the date?
He just got it. That's all that matters. You don't need a date. He just got it. Just
mixed languages, date. It's obviously this is not authentic. It's my opinion. This is not authentic.
You mean to tell me that this lady defending him looked at this and just went, "Yeah, that's legit.
That looks good. Yeah, that's good.
There's no seal, no signature by the dean, nothing that any other degree would typically have, but
has hereby conferred upon the faculty."
Who was the faculty? What
they probably wouldn't be able to read this. They'd be like, "Hold on, this is not in French or real. This is what the hell is this?"
They're Francophone. Some of them would obviously know a little bit of English, but if it's a Haitian Creole institution, the stuff is mostly going to be written in entirely Haitian Creole. But
where's the seal?
Shit, I don't know. He ate it. He got hungry.
Now, if you put him now, and also too, remember I said he's going to debunk this himself. I'm going to have Dr. Richey debunk these lies. Master of Law from Université Renaissance, right? That's what he says. And then before, we're going to go back. He says he had a doctorate in Droit from the University of Renaissance. But in the video he took down, he says he tells us what his degree is. He tells us. He tells us. And we are going to look at that right now as I put it on the screen. So, Dr. Richey, let us know what. Oh, before we get there, because I got to make sure we all on the same page here.
You cannot get
which one. Well, you can't get any of these, but he can get all of these. So, which one of these? Either he's going to say he's got a master in droid or a doctorate in droid, right? We don't. He's not going to say licensed in droid, right? He's not going to say that because licensed in droid means he has essentially nothing. So he's going to say either master or doctor, right? That's the only thing he couldn't say. He showed paperwork to show he has those two. Let's see what he says. Here's what he says. Will Dr. Richey confirm he has a doctor in droid or a master of droid? Let's see.
Doctor of Jurisprudence. Yes.
Not available. But
Doctor of Jurisprudence, University de la Renaissance in Port-au-Prince. Faculty de droit, Legal Sciences Program. Richey completed his Doctor of Jurisprudence, JD. His academic credential is a license in droit. I will explain what that means in a moment.
So he has a JD, but including with the
academic credential, he says he holds as a license in droid. It's right here on the screen from the Haitian, the university, Renaissance. So he says he has this license in droid. I'm sorry, I should screen. He says he has a license in droid.
The undergrad degree.
Okay. But he's showing us he has a doctorate. That's the information he's showing us on the screen. Well, not he, but the person who's advocating him is showing that he has a doctorate in droid. So when he was defending himself, he messed up. He didn't even know what the degree he had. He's like, I got the undergraduate degree. And now he's like, oh my God, I messed up. I have to say I have the doctorate so people can at least think it's equivalent to a JD in the United States, which would essentially be very, very close to a doctorate there. Do we understand?
Yeah, why not make it easy and just say, look, Dr. Android, and just
because previously he didn't understand it.
And so
until my video, I'm assuming, again, this is all assumption. I'm assuming you saw my video where I explained it.
And then he tried to
he's trying to correct it right now.
But it contradicts the other.
But it contradicts the original video. Because the original video, he says specifically he has the undergraduate.
When you introduce yourself to people, do you introduce yourself by your undergraduate degrees?
No.
Okay. No. I just want to make sure. I've never heard anyone do that, ever. So it wouldn't make sense. But, I don't want to rain on his parade. Hey.
You guys are saying our volume is, somebody said our volume is too low. I hear them just fine. Yeah, all right. So they hear us just fine. Somebody said their volume is too low. So just so we can all understand what's going on here. It's obviously got some issues. But even, and we can go through.
You can look at it. You can literally look at it and say, okay, come on, there's something a little off, but fine.
Then he's trying to also, you know what? I'm going to ask you guys. Some of these places you can actually still buy these degrees, even though it's like $1,200. I was thinking about doing a GoFundMe, raising about $6,000-$7,000, and buying all these degrees.
Oh, you want to be a doctor?
No, I'm gonna. Would you guys? Should we raise money and buy all these degrees to just make it totally clear that these are all fake?
And then she's gonna make a video
defending this one's about $3,500. The other one is about $1,500 or so. You can literally buy these degrees. And even, matter of fact, the Haitian military has come out for them. But from Azteca, you can buy those degrees. You can literally buy them.
In pesos or dollars?
No, you can do it. It's through PayPal. They can do the transfer. They do it like that.
Oh, it's okay. Oh,
yeah.
Shit. Okay.
They do PayPal transfers.
Oh.
So that's what we're planning on doing. We plan on buying as many of these as possible. There are a couple of places that still open that will still sell it to us. You know why I know? Because I've already contacted to buy the degree.
I think I saw this place when I was on the cruise.
Some of them were ready to sell. Like, oh, you sure? You sure you ain't got the money? I'm like, no.
I'm gonna be a double doctor. Damn it, I'm a double doctor.
There we go. Yes. So let's go. So here is Dr. Richey defending himself. So they're doing the whole
in this subject matter and seek another degree. I don't know. You have to ask Dr. Richey that. And that's exactly what I did.
All right. But now, because I got you hostage, because I know you want to hear what the hell he's got to say. There comes some of these super chats. Mother channel here. Ha ha ha. Yes, the Gov, the super cheap, but they also overlap. Ha ha. Make.
Oh, I think he was talking about the comment I was making about.
Yeah.
No, yeah. The bonuses for CPD or CBP is like 40,000 for 5 years. So. Oh yeah.
Could Good's girlfriend or the group she was trained by be held accountable? A girlfriend definitely could be held accountable.
The group,
but the group less so, because you have right of association, and ISIS propaganda as running concentration camps and disappearing people. Yeah, but you got to be concerned when you're going to a Home Depot and a whole bunch of masked agents are coming out asking everybody for their IDs. Because if they ask me for my IDs, I'm going to go to hell, F yourself.
I don't
and
know
what's going to
who
happen.
you are.
I would probably be one of those people detained and disappear because I'm not giving them shit. It's just now, don't get me wrong. I believe it's my right as an American citizen,
right,
to not have to walk around with ID and ID myself to anybody unless I'm committing some type of crime or doing something. If I'm driving a motor vehicle, okay.
Right.
But if I'm walking in the street and they come up to me and say demanding ID, it's not happening. It's just not happening.
You were law enforcement.
Yes.
You taught the law.
Yes.
And you still wouldn't abide by this.
No, I would be nice. I'd be courteous. I'd be like, no, I don't have to show you my ID. If you don't believe I'm an American citizen, that's on you to have some type of reasonable suspicion or probable cause to believe I'm not one. But until then, if you don't know my name, I don't have to prove I'm an American. You got to prove I'm not.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
They snatch your ass up. Yeah,
and they can snatch my ass up, but then you violate my rights because you didn't know. You didn't have any clue. You just grabbed me up. So that's what I think the problem is. I think that's what a lot of people are having a problem.
Yeah, it's too much, too broad.
Yeah, it's too. We've gone the other way so far. We went from let everybody in to now kick everybody out, and even American citizens if possible. It's like this is not making sense.
You gotta break a few eggs. Okay, gotta break a few eggs.
More danger at Walmart parking lots. He would shoot everyone. He never saw the tire direction. We agree. He only saw the steering wheel. Well, no, he saw the front of the car moving toward him. Then also fired twice as she fled. No, it was 3 shots in rapid succession in 0.7 seconds. We did the math. We saw the thing. I can show it again, but it's probably not going to convince you. 0.7. And the Supreme Court, we have the case law. Rapid succession fires in one event is going to be treated as one use of force. The reason why is because of human physiology and psychology. You're trained to shoot to stop the threat. While he was getting hit, he was shooting. So he was shooting while getting assaulted by the car, and the shots ended when the assault stopped. So yes, I understand. People are saying 1, 2, 3 shots, but people who are saying that don't really know what they're talking about, don't really know the case law, and don't really understand how this is going to be prosecuted.
I've never heard that particular argument from anyone that I know that owns a weapon. I've know even people who don't agree with the cop.
Yeah,
I've not heard them make that argument. It's only people who typically don't own weapens and don't know how they operate.
Yeah,
say
yeah,
that. So,
and they don't understand. You're shooting to stop the threat. And
you shoot to neutralize.
Yeah.
I don't shoot because here's the thing. And I think I might have talked to you about when you are shot, right? That doesn't mean that you're just going to fall over. It's not like a movie. When a lot of people get shot, they're so shocked and scared, they keep going just off of pure adrenaline. Some people don't even realize they're shot. How do I know that? That's part of training. As a combat medic, as an EMT, a lot of people are trained to recognize that, hey, this person's been shot. Make sure they're not walking around with holes in them because they probably don't feel it. So, just shooting somebody once is not necessarily going to neutralize the threat. Unfortunately, is a little excessive. Yeah, I mean, she got shot in the head, but car's still moving. So shit. I mean, and we see he put 3 bullets in her, and the car is still moving. So people want to find a way. I get it. They want to find a way that she is not accountable for her actions, that everything that's wrong in this scenario is because of the agent. I don't agree with that. Point blank.
Just check the National Black College Alumni Hall of Fame. Richie is not an inductee. LOL.
Ooh, did they remove?
Now we got to check it. Now you see, you're giving me more work then. Now we got to check the National Black College, because that would be such a shame if you have somebody who's got fake degrees.
Did they remove it?
I don't know. Well, he may not even be inside there because don't forget, he gives them a piece of paper and they just reading off the piece of paper.
Oh, he's like, okay, yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that your surgery. I am sorry that your surgery was how I found you, but I am very happy you're alive. You are live and alive. Sorry, you see, I'm still struggling. Nate, that is not true. Self-defense is all about what the defendant perceives. You don't get to use self-defense with things you do not perceive. I agree.
Yeah, but
I'm not understanding your disagreement with this, right? The self-defense in this particular instance, the law, please look it up, is Graham v. Connor. The reason why I know it is because I used to teach it. I was a professor at a law school, and I taught law enforcement officers on use of force tactics. I am licensed in handcuffing, asbaton, and teaching officers how to put suspects in custody. So, with that being said, when it comes to officers, it's not really about self-defense, it's about Graham v. Connor. And what you do is you're not actually asking what that officer did. Like, so this officer that was at the scene, the question is, was it what he did, right? We don't say his subjective understanding of it. That's why you'll never hear me talk about the fact that he was run over maybe like 6 months previously. Like I've never made that argument because it's irrelevant. What the law does, it takes a fictional, reasonable officer, a fictional officer, right? It removes that officer from that place and puts a fictional officer. And it says, would that fictional officer, who we believe is reasonable, following policy, doing whatever, with a reasonable officer standing in his shoes, with the events as they are at that time, with the knowledge he has at that time, act in the same way. Now, the knowledge he had at that time is a car coming to, you can say he couldn't see the tires, you can say, but with the knowledge he had at that time, would a reasonable officer act in a way based on his training and experience? And I believe that automatically ends it. And just for you, remember, you have to prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt. And if people in the chat believe that a prosecutor can prove that that officer at the time those shots were fired based on the totality of the circumstances, beyond a reasonable doubt is guilty, I think that's just too high a burden to cross. If you're talking about civilly, which is 50-50, whoever wins, that's a possibility. But I don't think any prosecutor can get a conviction here beyond a reasonable doubt. Great comment, though. You were about to say something?
Oh, no, I was great. No, that's perfect. Yeah.
How can a lawyer in good faith argue that contemporary's opinion is equivalent to the outcome of the whole process of jurisprudence, including discovery and testimony? Well, contemporary's opinion. I'm not sure. What do you think he's trying to say? I'm not understanding this. Maybe it might just be surgery brain, but what do you think he's saying?
Do I look like a lawyer to you?
No, I'm not trying to understand. I just think contemporaneous opinion. It's what you, because what the law is what it is at the time, right? What is that officer experiencing at that time? What are the facts? And then it's not his opinion. Remember, we removed him out and put a fictitious officer who is supposed to be a reasonable officer facing the same set of facts and circumstances. I should pull up. I should have had that case law ready because it says it right there. So maybe I'm not understanding your question correctly, but you know what I'll think about it and then write a response. Think about it a little bit. Thank you for the super chat. What is ICE's an ICE agent's power? Their federal officers can enforce federal laws, specifically in immigration, but that doesn't limit them, because if you start violating other laws, like impeding them, they could do that. Do you require a reason to ask for? Do they require a reason to ask for your ID? Yes, they should have a reason. Generally, it's called reasonable suspicion. Reasonable suspicion is from a case called again, I've just gone through brain surgery, so it's a little bit. It's called reasonable suspicion. It's from
Didn't the Supreme Court just ruled too that they could use
they can use race as a factor,
race, language, and there was something else that they.
Let me see, because I know people in the chat probably know what it is I'm talking about. But anyway, it's reasonable suspicion. So if they have reasonable suspicion that a crime may have been committed, reasonable suspicion doesn't mean they actually know that
They
a crime
have
has been
evidence
committed,
of it,
but they have
they
some
just-
evidence that a crime may have been committed, for instance, being here illegally, then they can ask you for
Terry
your
versus
ID.
Ohio?
Terry v. Ohio. That's it. It's called the Terry stop. It's actually called the Terry stop. Thank you for that. But again, so to ask you for your ID, they need reasonable suspicion.
But that brings up the issue that I have, because in New York y'all had stop and frisk,
We
but
did have
stop and frisk was considered to be unconstitutional because they use. So my question was then, okay, if that's true, on a state level, then how on a federal level can they then carry out essentially the same thing?
It would be considered unconstitutional. So and I think maybe it may be, yes. Remember Takaya Young? This is the same exact thing that happened to Takaya Young. She was a black woman who got hit. She clipped the officer fired, and he was cleared, and it was a whole mess. But yeah, this is Takaya Young part 2. She was shoplifting. Great point. I think it'll be interesting. I think I should explain an example of a Terry stop. I'm a cop walking the beat. I'm going in front of a store, and I see glass broken, and I see a man walking out from around the back of the store. I can then initiate. I can stop him because I feel like a crime is being. Now he could own the store. He could have broke his own glass, right?
He could just be walking by.
Yes.
But
I can make a Terry stop and say, "Hold on, can I see your ID? Or what are you doing here? The glass is broken. Make sure that person." That's a Terry stop. But now I can turn in a probable cause where if I see the guy in with a flashlight, with a bag, putting stuff, if he's in the store, then I can make an arrest because I have probable cause that a crime is being committed, right? Even though he may not be committing a crime, he can own the store for it, but I have probable cause, which is reasonable, that a crime is being committed and that person is the one that's committing the crime. So reasonable suspicion is, I think a crime might have been committed, but I don't know, versus probable cause where I know a crime has been committed, but I believe this is the person that committed that crime. I hope I explained it well, but that's essentially the difference between reasonable suspicion, which says I can ask you for your ID and I can stop you, and it's known as a detainment, a Terry stop, versus a seizure, which is you cannot go home. This woman, in our particular case with Ms. Good, was a seizure. She could not go home. Yeah. So, correction, Richey inducted 2022 in business and industry. Missed that category. Still, I bet he nominated himself. All right, you say me something. The problem is that you have a whole group of people who do not recognize police as a legal authority. They do not believe in police enforcing the law.
I think that's mostly true. I think in the case of federal law enforcement agencies, there's some ambiguity with a lot of, and I've seen this all over. There's a lot of ambiguity with what people believe the I guess the purview of these different groups are. So like if I was in uniform and can I just come and just arrest anybody? No, not at all. Mm-hmm. But if there is an operation going on and that you're coming too close and we say, hey, get back, absolutely, any soldier can do that, 100%. But it's the same, and the same thing kind of applies to these different agencies. If she, like I say, if she was standing on the sidewalk just hurling insults and snowballs, they wouldn't really, that would be absolutely, it would be in question. You're just messing with her because she's bothering you. You're annoyed. But the fact that you're actively in a convoy, mind you, because anytime you see a convoy, that's an operation. It's a moving operation, but it's an operation. You're impeding that convoy. You are now inserting yourself in an active operation. Doesn't matter whether you agree with it or not. And that's why I say I challenge people to do that with your local National Guard and see how well that works out for you. They're going to take you out of your car.
You got to get these people shot, man.
I'm just saying that's what's going to. I'm telling you that will happen. There's civilians that wander on a training exercise over in Germany, and they, because they got cows and stuff to wander, so they'll wander over there, and they get scooped up too. It happens, but it's just people have a legit concern. Yeah, how much can these guys do? How much they should be able to do?
Which is fair.
Yeah, which
is totally fair.
That's 100% a good question.
Thanks, Hannibal. Hannibal's another Henyard person. His Henyard videos are amazing.
I watch them.
Oh, you watch some of his stuff? Yeah, it's really good though. It's really good. Yeah, it's a lot of his later stuff is really good too. Thank you so much, Hannibal. I watch Hannibal stuff all the time. I'm a subscriber, so I'm a fan. CD is talking like he knows the officer was hyper focused on the steering wheel. That's true. That's a fact. He's making an assumption. I would be more focused on the vehicle
The
and
movement as a
the
whole.
movement as a
That's
whole,
exactly what I was saying
not
with the
steering
alligator.
wheel, and on top of that too, the officer's not testifying. The officer would be dumb to testify. If this goes to trial, he's going to be, because you remember, he's got the right not to incriminate him. So he's going to sit there, and you know what you're going to see? You're going to see the tires spin. You're going to see everything.
Let my lawyer do the talking,
yeah.
and he's going to present the
and the
evidence.
witnesses and all that stuff. He doesn't have to sit there and say I was in fear. It's on you to prove that he wasn't. Remember, it's on the state to prove he was not acting in self-defense. It's not on the defendant to prove he was acting in self-defense. It's on the state to prove that he was not acting in self-defense. And that's a big difference. So he can sit there and say nothing. But if the people on that jury, or even, well, this is going to go to a judge, believe that he was acting in self-defense, it's game over. It's game over.
But it'd be a little different in a civil case.
In a civil case, yes. In a civil case, you got to take the stands, a whole bunch of different stuff. But this is not that. Let's get back. All right, so I'm gonna get to the rest of your super chats, but now let's get back to Dr. Richey. So
okay, so there she's going in.
So now we got the interview. You know, he's changed his degrees. Some of the degrees don't exist. All this other crap. So now they're gonna interview. He's gonna tell us what the real deal is.
Maybe I have more curiosity than the average person, but the reality is, it's not about the degrees. I've never.
It is about the degrees. I'm sorry. It is about the degrees.
He's just curious. What?
He's just a curious.
What the fuck does that mean?
We'll see.
Shouted. I have a bunch of degrees. I've always engaged learning from the place of pure curiosity. Research has a hold of my attention, my consciousness, and there are things I want to learn while I'm here, but I'm also taking that knowledge to create opportunity for the people.
I want my 15 minutes back.
We didn't want to. We forwarded through.
Requested the interview with Dr. Richey to address the false narrative. His degrees were fake, and he provided additional evidence to support his coursework. He even logged into school portals to show me his progress.
She could have put them on the screen.
We also discussed his passion for neurophysics and his research for his degree from ICC University of Technology in Southeast Asia. He even demonstrated some of his experiments. So at this point, I felt I'd gathered enough evidence.
Now that you're being attacked and you know your history and you know the challenges you've had just to get these degrees, a doctorate is not an easy feat.
Well, let's just stop with this nonsense. We're gonna go to the chart. Let's just. I want to ask you guys: is it feasible? In 20, let's go through the timeline, because I think the timeline is important here. 2004.
Let's start 2000. Right? We have to start with 2000 because the date.
You would have gotten
the date that you see in the highlight where it says "in," that's where he conferred the degree, allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
So in this case, he had to start his educational journey in the year 2000. Okay, so that's our actual starting point. So according to this, he got a BS in theology, right? And this is from early radio bio that the Wayback Machine had to grab this one from the American College of Theology.
And let's just make it very clear: it's the United States, and our look at it says it's fake. It's from an unaccredited entity, often cited as a degree mill. He deleted it from his history when exposed. Now, how do we know that this American College of Theology is a degree mill? Well, the states have these things. So this is the state of Illinois, and they, in their, so far down, they have this thing, which allows people to go and see, like, hey, is a school accredited, is it a degree mill or not? So now if you put what was it? It was American
School of Theology. What was it?
Let's go back.
Yeah. American College of Theology.
So it's American
College of Theology.
COLL. So American College of
Theology.
There it is, right here.
Country,
so now
that says country information.
Yeah. So this is Australia, right? It's this is an American College of Metaphysical Theology, also known as American College of Theology, which we're looking for. right? In the United States, is not officially recognized as a degree granting institution in any of those countries. And those countries are
Austria, Belgium, Germany, Italy, and the United States.
And for Belgium, they have it again here, right? Be aware, the American College of Theology, and again, they say it's not officially recognized as a degree granting program in any. So each country is telling you this is not legitimate.
But I
this
thought
is
she
not
said
legitimate.
that you could cross-reference it and it shows that it's good. The lady said it. I heard her. She said it was legit.
The United States, because remember, we showed those other countries. The United States, what did you say? The American College of Medical Physics, also known as the American, is what? Is not officially recognized as a degree. So it's a degree mill. So the first degree we got is a degree mill. It's fake, right? The first degree was fake. Okay. Now, again, that's not going to convince any of his people. I understand people.
But he took this one down. He doesn't use this one
So
anymore.
he's not using that one anymore. That's fine. So then 6 years later, he has a BS from this school from France, and it's on his legal storm bio. So this is this bio. This is legal storm, yeah. So this is this bio. So this is here with Aztec University and all these other ones. So this is here, this school, and the school's name was something Euro America. So we can go here and look at the Euro America. Where is it at? It's somewhere down here. I saw it. He says, oh, here it is. It's right at the bottom. 2006, 2010, BS with honors. With honors, right?
With honors.
It's right here at the bottom. Sorry, it's right here at the bottom so you guys can see it. And this is Dr. Richey's bio. Okay. So he's claiming that he has this degree. Okay. And as you can see, it's unaccredited. He lists it as his first degree. But again, it's 2010. The next year, he's the political director of the Democratic Party of Georgia. He puts that in his bio too. You can also see that in the bio. Then then we have 4 years. So we have 2011, and now we're at 2015. He's now got a PhD from Schofield. You already know about Schofield. I'll just show you real quickly how it's on the TYT. Schofield is listed here on TYT. I think it's down here. Internet, blah, blah, blah.
Right there.
Right there. Here it is. So Richey, so right here, right? This religion led him to undertake the total history at Schofield Graduate School, where his quantitative research focused on global effects on Western religion and politics. You see why we believe that's a fake school. So I don't think there's any doubt with that, right? We're good with that, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, folks.
Just to look. Then he becomes the policy director. So next year he becomes the policy director. So we did 5 years. 2016. Now he has another PhD. So he got the one PhD. And again, fake degree mill. 2016, we're at the Business University in Costa Rica. PhD in political policy. Again, we believe it's a degree mill.
It looks like he got this degree around the same time as the religious studies degree, because
1 year.
Yeah.
This is 1 year.
Within a year,
he's gotten 2 doctorates.
The only way he could have done
PhDs.
that is if he was working on both of them simultaneously and he just finished one before the other. That's the only way because there's no way you're going to get a PhD in like a year or 2.
He's got 2. And so he goes from undergraduate to 2 PhDs, looking good. All within what? Within a year, he's got the 2 PhDs. And then we go 2016. So now we got 2 PhDs. And again, it's from, we believe, to be a degree mill, the University of Costa Rica. Then he said he gets some certificate from Cornell. But now we get to what I call the real degree. So essentially, it seems like he woke up and said, let's go to some real schools.
Yeah, do something.
But now it's crazy because this school, Baalua, he gets an MBA from that school. And that is real. It's a real MBA. It's a real school. It's really accredited. It's legit. But if you notice, the next year, he goes back and gets a BA, a bachelor's. So he gets a graduate degree first, and then he goes back and gets the undergraduate degree second.
Yes. You got to diversify your portfolio, okay? You can't just have a PhD in Costa Rica. You got to, in political policy at that, okay? You can't just specialize in theology in Georgia. You got to go to Cornell and get a certificate of executive leadership. And then you got to go back to Georgia, to Balua Heights University, get your MBA, and a year later get a BA in philosophy. Because look, we everywhere. We doing everything, okay?
And I'm assuming that somebody maybe realized, like, hey, these bachelors and PhDs you said you have may not be good enough for us. So just at least get the bachelor's. And with that alone, he went and got his EDD in political policy, which is real.
So,
and this is a great accomplishment all in itself. This is enough to say you are somebody, you have done it, you are now credentialed. That's enough. That's all he needed. But he says, I already know how to get the degrees. Let's just go to the next level.
But wait, there's more.
So I want to fast forward to 2023.
This is the best part.
In the year 2023.
No. Pause.
Go ahead.
We got a 2022 first.
All right, you'll start at 2022 and you read them off.
Okay. So, and there's a reason I'm doing this. Okay, I want y'all to pay attention. In 2022, he was a professor of physics, right, at the Paris Graduate School in France, right? Guess what? Fake role by Alyssum as a professor of physics at the same unaccredited school where he was supposedly a student. Kind of an issue, right? A year later, he gets his certificate in finance from Harvard Law. Okay, guess what? Degree. That's fine. Okay, we'll let that one slide. He gets his, then this is where Nate blew this one up. Again, this is the same year. This is 2023. He gets his Juris Doctor, supposedly, right, from the Haitian Renaissance University, but they can't grant those type of degrees. Different system.
Different systems.
It's fine. In the same year, he was a law student, attended Birmingham Law School, did not finish it. It's Alabama. He attended it, but he just transferred credits. Not a big deal. Whatever. Okay, fine. But again, this is 2023. In the same year, he supposedly gets an LLM. Again, Haitian Renaissance University in Haiti.
So just so we can stop, he's taking classes at Birmingham. He's got his to get a JD, but he's already got one in 2023 from Haiti. And then he's already got a Master's of Law from Haiti, all in the same year. And we haven't even finished the year. This is one great year. This is one fantastic year. And again, we're not talking about the fact that he was doing all this other stuff in 2021, 2022, and all this. We're just talking.
We skipped those.
Yeah, we just talking about 2023.
And this man's amazing.
Next.
Okay.
We're still on it.
So we still 2023, mind you. He's gotten like 3 master's degrees by now. All right. So master's degree in applied physics from Costa Rica. Okay. Diploma mill. Hey, what a surprise. They don't have a physics department. No.
The physics department exists, yeah.
So then you know what? Hey, we're gonna go applied metaphysics again at Paris Graduate School in France. Okay. But it's on one of his bios, right? It's a fake. He say he finished his master's degree in January 2023 while being a professor there. Somehow, I don't know how you're able to do that, but you can. Whatever. Here we go. 2023. He says, you know what? We're going to diversify again. We're going to go to cognitive psychology from Singapore.
So think about now, people. In 2023,
same year,
we're in Haiti, Costa Rica, France, and Singapore, and we're not finished.
Nope,
we're not finished. Where do we go next?
We do physics, we do philosophy, we do theology, we do applied physics. You know what? We're going to neuroscience. We're getting a master's degree in neuroscience in Nicaragua. This nigga getting a Nicaraguan degree.
This is
same year.
The fact that people are defending this
same year
is almost like insane.
Same year. How many people do y'all know that have 5 master's degrees in the same year?
What about his passport? I'd like to see this guy's passport. This guy's passport must be stamped like crazy. Haiti, Costa Rica, France, Singapore, and Nicaragua. And then next year he goes to Mexico.
I guess that's a lot of frequent flyer miles, okay? So, all right. So after 2000, he had a really productive year in 2023. Okay, 2024, Dartmouth College.
That's real.
He's a student.
That's real. He did get accepted into that program. The article is claimed we give him Dartmouth. We don't care about Dartmouth.
But you say, you know what, that's not good enough.
No, come on. I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson right now.
Neil deGrasse Tyson said, "Look, hey, we need to be here." 2025, last year, this man got a PhD in quantum physics in France, in Paris graduate school.
School is unaccredited. So, listen, people, I understand there's a lot of Dr. Richey fans out there. He's got millions of followers. But if you're telling me his 2023 was this productive, and how many different, let's just count the different countries we're talking about. And yes, I'm going to count the United States too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 countries with 6 degrees. It's a miracle.
If you were a polymath, you'd understand. This man's clearly a polymath. Clearly a Renaissance man who graduated from the Haiti Renaissance School. That's when you graduate. Okay, see, here's what you understand: when you graduate from the Renaissance School, you become a Renaissance man. That's how it works.
Good point. That's a good.
That's how it works. See, that's what we missed in the research. Okay, that's how this shit works. That's how it works.
2023 is even. Matter of fact, I got to shrink it so we can see all the 2023 on one page. This is 2023. Everywhere you see the highlighted portions where he says he got it. He got so many degrees in 2023. It puts me to shame.
Really? You got quite a few back here.
I got a couple, but my God, his 2023 blows me out the way. I got 4. He's got like 45 up here. It's like insane old stuff. Let me get to the super chat. We were hyper focused on the whale. We said this. All right, some of those degrees are as fake as his tiny mustache. You always know someone's lying by how angry they get. People don't believe me when I said Trump will be voted in. Yep, I probably didn't believe. I'm probably one of those people. Great Britain will be run by a hardcore dictator for 20 years. We said that already about Karens running it. You guys have issues. One extreme to another. That's kind of what we're going through right now. One extreme, let everybody in. The other extreme, kick everybody out. So it happens.
Pendulum swings.
Yeah, pendulum does swing. The stream feels like a pure identity politics where agreeable outcomes to some subset of the population justify the absence of process. No, I don't agree with that. It doesn't seem like a real legal channel with respect to both the law and the process. I don't know. I put together both. This is a live stream, just giving our opinions. But if you want to see my strict legal take of the situation, it's right up there. I go through the law, I go through the case law, I go through the Supreme Court cases. I apply the facts to the cases and let you come to your own opinion. So if you want to see that, there's no identity politics here. Matter of fact, we're
both of us lean pretty far left
from the identity politics, and we reject their identity politics. I personally do.
Okay, like if you want to say that, sure, but we both said that, you know what, ICE they're kind of out of control, right? There needs to be a definite curtailing of some of their abilities, and there needs to be a way for the public in the case of something occurring, like, you know, if they are a bit overzealous, right, with their application of force, there needs to be a way for the public to address that 100%. But so I'm not sure where this comes from, but you know, hey, everybody
has their opinion.
That's fine.
And I think we made it very clear that if the process we don't believe is being followed, that's why we had this whole discussion about rational what it takes to make an arrest, which is probable cause. We talked about the Terry case and why asking somebody for ID generally require reasonable suspicion. You know, so we did talk about the process and how we felt the process was being violated, and some of the consequences, like, you know, if we were asked for ID. So I think we were very clear about that. And he's even talking about how his family member was also one who was stopped and the process wasn't followed. So if you feel that maybe you're not, or maybe you wrote this before we made those points, but we're very strong on process here. The diploma in Haiti are written in French. No, his is written in French and English, so you can see that they're real.
If you were a doctor, you would know that.
Rashad didn't do nothing wrong. This is AJ. Wrong. I also got my degrees from third world countries that advanced on the back of that advertised on the back of a cereal box. Did you DL the episode? Did you DL? Yes. I got it. Thank you. Here is What happens if you fit the description of someone else they are looking for?
They beat your ass.
Well, again, fit in the description, right, of someone could lead to either probable cause or reasonable suspicion. Generally, when we were in when I was in the academy, they had a video they would play. So, and they would show the difference between probable cause and like. So, if we're going to a scene and we wanted to do a stop, question, and frisk, and the scene was there was a man shot a gun and he has a white jacket on, and we get there, if everybody has white jackets on, everybody fits the description. I don't have reasonable suspicion because who am I going to stop? Everybody. But if there's one person there with a white jacket and I've got a report of a gun, then I have reasonable suspicion to make that Terry stop. So I think that's what would be the difference. And here, if you do have a description of someone, that would initiate a detainment. I'm detaining you to do an event. And they generally call Terry stops investigatory stops. So I'm investigating what's going on to see if there's been a crime. And a lot of times they don't come into anything. There's no crime that's been committed. We need to be careful on how we expose people. Not everyone is strong and may have mental issues resulting in them unsubscribing themselves from the world.
Hey, that's a problem.
I don't think he's going to be doing anything like that. This matter of fact, we're not the first people to bring this up. There's a whole bunch of people who are bringing this up. So, last May, 2 strokes and took half of my right brain. Back home better. Indeed, continue to receive hope from you. Thanks. Oh, hey, I'm going through it too. I know how it feels. I'm getting tired now, so I'm about 10 minutes. We're about to get out of here. Now we're going to read probably super chats, say our goodbyes, but prayers to you, and I hope you get better. And it's great to see you. I had employees 177 plus 52 outside contractors. I hired and fired people I cared about who was fitting in what role, but not for race.
Yeah, it's about competency. Yeah, about age.
And we've always made that argument, right? We've always made that argument. I don't hire people because they're black, and I reject. If someone hired me because I was black, I would reject that. You should hire me because I'm the best candidate. And I think the best example of that backfiring for me is the Marvel superhero movie, because they specifically said they wanted to hire a black woman to do that movie. And they went and looked for the best black woman, but I think you needed to look for the best director who knows the
qualified
context.
person.
Yes,
but
now if you have a whole bunch of qualified people and you say, okay, well, this one happens to be black, but we're going to go with that. That's different. But in this particular situation, a lot of times, and that's the DEI thing, right? We're going to hire the best black person, even if they may not be qualified. And I've experienced that myself in law school. They were bringing people in who were not qualified for law school or to even be in law school. And unfortunately, they failed out. And it hurt them more than helped them, because it was just another black person who probably would lose the opportunity to become a lawyer because they weren't prepared. And they were letting them in because they just wanted to check a box. ICE, civil, request for ID of a non-detention detained person versus local Leo request, depending on must ID state. Explain. Constitutional law versus state law. State law you can be more restrictive. So state law, like for us in New York, the state law is more restrictive. So we couldn't do as much as the feds can do. Feds only have to worry about the Constitution and their federal law, which is a lot more expansive. Now, ICE is a law enforcement officer. Now they are not just law enforcement officers in a civil matter, but they are law enforcement officers in a criminal matter. Now, there is some civil, right? So if you get a visa, come into the country and overstay a visa, that's a civil matter. If you cross the border illegally, which most of these detainments are coming from, people crossing the border illegally, then that is a criminal matter, because a criminal matter to cross the border illegally, but it's a civil matter if you cross the border legally and overstay. So when they're doing these operations, they are stopping you based on the Terry stop, because the crime they're looking for is criminal immigration enforcement. But if they can also find you for civil immigration enforcement, so that's the difference. And not all situations are criminal, not all situations are civil. But if ICE is detaining you because they think that you're here illegally, it could be civil or criminal, but that gives them the ability for the Terry stop. Great question. I hope I answered it fully. To still man Richie's argument a bit, Democrat in Detroit is a real degree. Yes. It doesn't qualify you to take the bar exam. He says it does, though. That's where you lost. He says it absolutely does. But it is a real degree. Of course, it's a real degree. And just to be clear, he's not even saying he has that degree anymore. He's saying he has some other degree. He said he had that degree before, but then he found out
he changed it to just want the license. Yeah.
Yeah. So moving vehicle was already a deadly weapon. We agree. What if Good had used a different deadly weapon? Then I think the thing is
People
correct.
will still make excuses. I'm just going to be honest with you. People will still make excuses.
If she fired a gun at the ground in front of the agent, would deadly force be justified, even if she didn't intend to hurt him? Now, this is you put obviously yes. Now, I think this is a problem that a lot of people don't understand with the law is that, and this is critical. Her intent is irrelevant, and you'll hear a lot of people talking about her intent.
The crux of everybody's argument. She didn't mean to do that. She wasn't trying to.
Is irrelevant. Like for instance, you'd hear a lot about this about suicide by cop, right? Someone who wants to die would pretend they would go into their pocket. The cops would be like, "What are you doing?" They'll go into their pocket. "We're gonna kill you, cop!" and come out with nothing in their hands. And the cop pulls out his gun and shoots the person. So they call it suicide by cop. And if you have suicide by cop, you can make the argument. What was that person's intent, right? That person didn't intend to kill the cop. So does that now make the cop who did shoot and kill that person a murderer? Does that make no?
He was just assisting with martyrdom. That's all. That's
the issue here in this particular case would be that the cop, he's going to be judged based on the circumstances at the time and the threat that a reasonable person would ascertain at the time.
An idealistic depiction of an officer is placed in the scenario. Whatever this idealistic depiction does, if that corresponds with what occurred, then it's deemed reasonable by the court.
Correct. If it was what a reasonable officer would do, facing the same set of facts and circumstances at the time force was used. That's the thing, and you let her look at the totality of the circumstances. So you are definitely correct. I'll take a couple of more of these, then we are going to go. But thank you guys so much for this. It's simple. He used his applied physics knowledge to create the ground. No, look at 2023. It worked.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
That
leap.
Makes the most sense.
Leap joke. Quantum leap.
That makes the most sense. I'm telling you.
This Richie is he that race grifter that always throwing the BS like, yes, the electric bike. That's how, if you know Richie, that's the electric bike Karen story where he had to make the retraction. Yes. That's the same guy. Nate the lawyer, both of you ignore what happened. It's happening if you like it or not. What are we ignoring? This is just like
I guess I missed it. Both of us have acknowledged that there's
I don't know what we need to do. Yeah, like we both acknowledge that this is crazy. There's something going on that's crazy. This woman didn't need to die. We don't agree with what ICE is doing, but we can recognize she messed up. Federal officer in front of her, pressing the gas, hit the officer. He shoots while being hit by the car while she's assaulting him. I don't understand what more do you need to know, but you may be right.
This is actually a good question.
Even if the JD is legit, would he fail the character and fitness test determination and thus not be eligible for municipal bar? No. I have a friend that I was in law school with who was convicted of murder, did a whole bunch of time. You can find a whole bunch of these people. And character and fitness, you sit down and you interview with someone, and they go in. Like he was out of jail for like 15 years, and he wanted to become a lawyer. I'm a defense attorney because he felt like he got shafted by a bad attorney. So so he went to.
But he was convicted of murder.
He was convicted
and spent time.
He spent like 15 years in prison and got out and got his law degree. I was in law school with him. He was a good guy. Yeah.
Well, damn.
Yeah. So it's possible. I think he would, if he puts all of these degrees, because character and fitness for law is at another level, people. It's not what you like. There was one job I had like 10 years ago or 15 years ago. I totally forgot about it. And I was doing character and fitness, and I got fired from the job. And I totally forgot about it. That was like one of my jobs.
Why would you remember? Yeah,
it was like one of my first jobs ever, and I had done so much. I was in law enforcement, I was all this other level. But then I remembered, and I put it there, and I was like, oh, I got to put an addendum. So I put an addendum. I sent it to them, and when I got there, the guy was like, he said, good thing you put this addendum, because we saw it. We did the background check. We saw it, and you did the background. We saw it, and
you look like you would
the
purposely have missed.
The fact that you did and did it before you got here, it was like you got no issues. Here's your law license, and then I did the whole ball thing. So it was. So that's yes. So you have to be honest because they know they check you out. They check you out because you're going to be practicing law. And practicing law is a very powerful thing in this country. Yes. Most relevant thing in Ross' state of mind. Yes, it is. Does she have a reasonable belief
that he have a reasonable belief
that his life was in imminent danger?
Yes. And so in that idealized officer scenario, having a vehicle come towards you in close proximity, anybody, it doesn't matter if they're officer of law, not anyone would have that suspicion. But
yes. Nate told me any lawyer would know day one the difference between civil and common law. Yes. I asked my wife, she repeated it verbatim, even Louisiana caveat.
Baby.
100% lying about his law degree. We all know it, but you know what happens? All these people watching that are his fans aren't going to care.
Sure.
They are not going to care. Last super chat, please don't send me more in because I am going to have to go. Nate the lawyer, could you and should you do, Nate the lawyer, he could and should do better. There is more expansion from officers. And I will say this. I don't know. Because I believe you're taking all accountability from the person who turned the vehicle into the officer and put a foot on the gas. Could she have been better? Could she have done better? It's not just officers alone hold to be. She needed to be held accountable. Now I know she died. She had the ultimate result, but we have to be honest here. She put the officer in that particular situation. She had a chance to just obey orders, and she didn't. And unfortunately, she passed away. Now the officer, and it's almost laughable to hear the response about the officer. It's because the officer shouldn't have been in front of the car. And people say, well, the officer even if the officer put himself in front of the car, and they say, well, he violated policy. Just because you violate policy doesn't mean you should be it allows her to run him over.
But imagine if it was the reverse, right? Hey, even though people know what you should and should not do when interacting with the police, if you were a little overzealous, does that give a cop reason to shoot you dead?
No,
absolutely not. So if you would reverse it and create any scenario you want to, that doesn't mean that that's justification. But people are trying to put that forward, and the onus is only on the officer. But it's like, no, she's behind the wheel of a car. Yeah. Whether or not people want to agree her intention, none of that matters. She is behind the wheel of a car. She has a responsibility as a driver, regardless of who that person is. Point blank.
That's what it is. So we are going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks for listening to us go crazy about this whole Rashad Richey and shooting thing. And listen, for those of you who disagree with me on this particular issue, all right, because I know there's a lot of you who disagree with me on this particular issue. The problem that I think a lot of people have is that they want this to be an echo chamber, right? When you come in here, if I always say this, if you go to a lot of other legal channels, you already know what they're going to say. When you go to a lot of these pundits, you already know what they're going to say, because the left, everybody on the left is saying what they're going to. I know very few people on the left. Matter of fact, I don't think I know anybody on the left who says this was justified. I know everybody on the left, and they don't care about the facts. They don't care about any of those little bitty things. They only care about the outcome. But the law is it's a means test. It's how you get there. And I think how you get there matters. And that's why the ends don't justify the means. And in this particular case, I think people on one side are making the argument, look at the end, she died. But the means on how we got to those ends matter. And I think we all have to realize, and it's okay to say, she did this wrong, this was a justified shooting, because by saying the words Ashley Babbitt, the whole argument flips. And you got a whole subset of the population going to say she was blah, 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 and the other side. Like it's literally that bad.
True patriot doing her duty. She didn't deserve it.
So was Miss Good. Both killed by federal officers.
Martyrs for the cause.
It all depends on what your cause is, right? So with that being said, we're gonna get out of here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that great YouTube stuff. We out.
See ya.